Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode. That's right, back-to-back nights of Tony and Truckin. So we already started listening a little bit here, try to get past the beginning. So let's hit play,
and that's what Tim
and
Tebow
let's
should
get
be
into
doing.
our
He should
truck
be in
here.
somebody's
Let's go,
secondary
baby.
as a
Talking about
safety.
Tebow getting cut.
That's what he should have done.
You mentioned Canada. I
Poor
mean, that may
Tebow.
be an option for him.
I mean, the guy stinks as a quarterback.
I mean, he can go back and play double-A baseball for the Mets.
Yeah, go back and play and take it.
They cut him.
He fits right in with their offense.
Yeah,
The guy who hits about 200.
Yeah, they cut the guy bigger than life. But hey, he can go back and do that. They cut that guy bigger than life. But yeah, he sat there. Yeah, and he could do like a lot of these major league hitters, go out there and hit 200. The sad thing about him being with the Mets or any of these teams is that he would take the spot of a serious athlete that's seriously trying to make the team that needs the money. Because Tim Tebow doesn't need the money. He's going to make money the rest of his life being Tim Tebow. And that's okay. That's, Can you imagine Tim Tebow?
All right, so we're up in Seattle.
The name, image, and likeness era with the way he had
Should
people
be
eating
quite
out
a
of his
few
hand.
deliveries. What we
Can
got
you guys
here?
imagine that? Can we consider that for a second? What a NIL tour de force that cat would be? Let me get a phone call in here. Hello and welcome into our first call.
I'm definitely
You are
gonna
live
do
on
that.
the
I
air.
think.
Good morning.
All right, Donna.
Hello? Good morning. Hello. I saw you. I know you.
What's going on, Tom?
I know you. I knew you. I wish I can remember your name. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, here's Josh Heupel. Hang right there. I gotta hear Coach Heupel. He's already meeting with the depressed. We are moving quickly. Here we go.
About the offensive movement today, how do you think the quarterbacks kind of handled the situations in general out there compared to last week where turnovers were not?
Really weren't a ton of turnovers last week. The weather really had very little effect for the most part. I thought the quarterbacks handled the weather, were able to throw the ball efficiently, effectively. I thought our wide receivers did a pretty good job. I did having some quarterback issues. It was really pretty good. I thought special teams early, just early in the day, weren't handling it as well as they could have. We put them in some tough situations throughout the course of
Situations.
In particular, our field goal unit at the end of the day.
Oh shoot! I forgot our damaged
Sorry,
truck.
quarterback question. I mean, how do you handicap this thing? When do you work towards making a decision? Because of the rain, do you like that? What's going to happen in a game? So this is kind of one of those unpredicted thrust upon you.
Game day, you wake up, no matter what the report has said.
Okay,
throughout the
let's
course of the week,
see.
you got to play in the elements that you got, and we will play in the
Where
rain.
do we get it
game.
fixed?
So your mindset, offense, defense, special teams, got to be that this is the right weather for us to go out and execute. It has no bearing on who we are and what we do and how we do it. And,
We are what we are and how we do it.
At a pretty high level on that side of the quarterback battle. I'm going to continue to see those guys compete. Obviously, we'll go back later today and have an opportunity to watch the scrimmage. I think those guys have all continued to grow during the course of this 3-day block before we got into our scrimmage today.
Two things. You had mentioned at the last scrimmage how the defense was physical, changed the line of scrimmage. Did you see something similar today?
Yeah, at times. I thought they created negative plays, played up the field. I thought, for the most part, the gap integrity, first, second, and third level was really strong. Offensively, they were able to bust and create some space at times and move the football on the ground as well. Thought the running backs as a whole ran with great pad level today and moved and finished +2.
Any update on Brian Maurer?
No update on him.
Oh, Jimmy with the hard-hitting questions.
On the defensive side of this today, at the linebacker position, how do you think guys like Juwan Mitchell and Jeremy Banks kind of handled their role when it comes to being the quarterback on the field when it comes to the defense? Are they progressing?
Today
Oh, no.
get a chance to see more of it is you go back and watch the video, but I think there's great competition in that room.
Idiot.
The accountability factor and who they're going to be every single day inside that room. We've continued to grow and evolve from where we finished spring ball throughout the course of summer and certainly here during training camp. There's a lot of guys that can play and play at a really high level.
Are you kidding
in
me?
that
We
second
can't
level
turn in
linebacker
here.
Group. I think the strength of any position can never just be one guy. You guys have heard me say that before. We got the ability to play a lot of in that second level. Throughout the course of training camp, but in particular here after the first scrimmage, and you've seen those guys play with great effort, great strength, speed that has shown up on the video. We've shown our guys a lot of that during the course of our team meetings at night.
How was the offensive line's performance today compared to Thursday?
I thought they just were more efficient from the whistle to get lined up and getting ready for the next snap. I thought they created good vertical movement at times in the course of the scrimmage, and did a pretty good job of protecting the quarterback.
Coach, following up on the quarterbacks, have you seen any separation in any of those guys through today or even through the first 2 weeks camp?
Separation, we're ready to say something and come down here and do that. That group has continued to compete and handle things the right way, and I like the growth of that group from day to day. But you just look from the first scrimmage to the second scrimmage, who they are during the course of the practices leading up to today. That group's continuing to trend and going the right direction.
See you fail in your training. That's not going to happen.
Coach, could you go over scoring plays that occurred?
I had a nice touchdown run. Two of them. One of them was in a goal line situation. I think those are the two that pop out today. So we're at that.
And what do you like about Darnell Wright at the tackle?
Athleticism. I think he's got a tremendous upside. He's only going to continue to get better. I think his purpose and the way that he's practiced here throughout training camp has been more focused, intentional, in the way that he takes every single rep.
All right.
Become a much better student of the game,
Now.
understanding defensive alignments, what we're doing offensively, better communicator than he was during the course
There
of
are
spring ball.
those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen. Let's go.
I'm assuming you will not have another major scrimmage between now and kickoff. So, as you evaluate this, is it about finding starters, or is it about finding who can help you the first 3 or 4 weeks of this season? And build from there. What do you look for in your evaluation?
Some guys that you trust at this point, they're going to go out and compete the way that you want them to, and I'm just talking about effort, right? And then the ability to reset from play to play, and the guys that understand their alignment, assignment, and communicate out there on the football field. It's never just about 11 guys, man. It's about as many guys that are going to prove that they're going to play at a high enough level to help go win, and finding roles for those guys, and that's offense and special teams. And today, right, is probably our last major scrimmage, but it's not the last piece of their development.
Oh, this is the wrong way, but oh
We
well.
got to continue to push and strengthen.
That was the longest night
We
of my
lead up to
life.
kickoff.
Much better do you feel about the number of people you trust now compared to a month ago, 6 months ago?
I think there's been tremendous growth in this football team. You look at
That was the longest
where we
night of
finished
my
spring
life.
ball, and then the guys that we got back from injury, the guys that have been brought in through the transfer portal, the development of some of our young guys. We're a much deeper football team than we were. That shows up on offense and defense. It shows up in the ability to play on special teams too. Our young guys are continuing to take strides and make you feel like they have an opportunity to go out there and play September 2nd and play at a really high level too.
Keep left. And then turn left.
Adam Sports, Knox News. In terms of winning up front, offensive line, D-line, you're obviously seeing the same guys that go against the other guys each day. How much can you really tell by that progress of either line when you're not seeing an opponent?
So many different
Oh,
games.
come on.
Hasn't seen you.
Damn it, man.
And it's gone against you for, you're looking at close to 26, 27 practices at this point if you date back to spring ball.
Keep left.
The way that we
And
rotate, though, you
turn
see
left.
different matchups. And the rotation on the
Turn
offensive
left.
line, guys swinging from the left to right, whatever it might be. That versatility, you see guys in different positions against different individuals in the course of practice. As a football coach, though, like you understand the fundamentals and the techniques and what what you're trying to do. And we've seen really good growth on both sides of the line.
Make a good turn. Let's keep our enemies guessing.
I'm sure it's just never as clean as you want it to be, but as far as a penalty standpoint in scrimmage, like, did you see improvement from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2?
Yeah, there's certain things that got to get corrected. A couple things that happened pre-snap that we can certainly correct. Throughout training camp, though, we've been relatively clean. We got officials out there
All right.
that are calling it like
Now.
and we point that out to our players every single day. They take ownership in it. No, we're never where we want to be, but there's been a lot of positives here, and there were today too.
With your defense, how wanting to play aggressive, wanting to create sort of chaos, how's your defense done in terms of forcing turnovers, negative plays, sacks, things like that throughout you?
Sorry, I didn't really understand the question there.
With the defense, just how we all want to play.
Yeah, there were times in the course of scrimmage where they got people behind the chains and created some 0 and negative yard plays. Got after the quarterback. It's always tough in the scrimmage when your quarterbacks aren't live, right? You know, does he have them? Does he not have them? What's the escapability of that player? But I thought they did a good job. They got off the field, in particular, early first couple of drives, got off the field, some third down situations for 1 and 2s. Offensively, there was some give and take, right? And you got going as the scrimmage went on. If you walk out of a scrimmage and it's completely one-sided, that's where you feel like, as a coach, right? There's some major concern. There's some give and take. You feel like you're growing on both sides of it. And there certainly was some of that today.
You complimented the tackling scrimmage. Were you pleased with the tackling today as well?
Yeah, for the most part, I thought there were a couple of plays in space that our skill guys were able to make some plays. But our guys on the defensive side of the football have been...
All right, 1,400 miles to Denver. I've been to Denver in a while. Excited to go back there. Look on sleep. Oh, we're gonna need to sleep very soon. Try to go a couple hundred miles before we do.
I know that Rodney Garner told us last week that in that first scrimmage he thought, maybe some guys on defense, especially the D-line, didn't finish the scrimmage the way he wanted to. They didn't maybe have the same drive and all that. Do you think the defense finished better today?
Keep right.
You'll find out individually like they finish better. There was long drives out there in the course of play today. I thought for the most part, though, our guys competed on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Keep right.
On offense, do you call the plays? And secondly, you have a lot of former coordinators on your staff, former offensive coordinator, front, pass. How do those different voices help put together the offense?
The voices inside the room, it's a growth just of like, you find out who your personnel is, right? You have a way that you want to play, and then you find out your personnel, then you try to put those guys in situations to be successful. We got a lot of guys that have a ton of experience. Guys that have been with me for a long time. Coach Golich came with me from the previous stop. Cody Burns has a ton of experience in this league, having played in this league and coached in it for a long time. You try to find out personnel and then put them in a position of success. The others based of who we are and the core fundamentals, how we play,
pretty cool.
Inside of our playbook. Then you constantly evolve, and some of that happens during the course of training camp. Then also some of that happens as you go through the season and you continue to find more out about your players and how you want to attack defenses. And so it's a constant evolution of who and what we're going to be. So, guys, appreciate it, man.
There's Josh Heupel meeting with the depressed after today's scrimmage. Seems more pleased with the work they were able to get done today than they had been previously in their last scrimmage. And you heard, I think it was Brent Hubbs say that the Sands are going through the hourglass here. It's probably might be their last full one, because you would think that game preparations are going to get down soon to Bowling Green and probably more so Pittsburgh. I would think they're going to make a couple and a half week run. They're not going to say that. A couple and a half week run, getting ready for that pivotal Pitt game. But the season opener is sneaking up on us right around the corner now. I mean, we're low, 16 days out. That's kind of incredible. Absolutely incredible. You can feel it in the air. And when we come back, I want to ask you to hold your calls. David Ubben will join after this. Tony Basilio here from my good friend Marcos Garza in your Garza Law Firm. Pretty happy that we've made it to 2021. How about you? Well, I still have word of a truckload
Thrilled,
development
Tony.
and what we can do about it. Because carpetbaggers remain in our area. Out-of-town law firms, carpetbaggers, have been swarming in the East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, Birmingham, they've stormed into our area. You've seen the ads on television. You've heard some of these new ads that are popping up on radio. Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you rather do business with somebody that's live and local? A local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and my friends at your Garza Law Firm are exactly that. These are your neighbors, your friends, our neighbors and friends. Support local causes year-round. Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm, always there for me when I have a need. For Fish Hospitality Pantry, and also our Machi Tailgate. Just to name a couple of things. They're live and local. They're one of us. They're of our earth. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries, and accident matters. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. And they will be for many, many years to come. Live, local, one of us, one of you. The Garza Law Firm.
65,022 miles on old Aunt B here.
30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's. You're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
It's Taco Tuesday tonight at Smokies Ballpark. $2 tacos, beer specials, all while watching your Tennessee Smokies in action.
Get your tickets now at SmokiesBaseball.com.
SmokiesBaseball.com.
Dang it.
See you tonight.
Sorry, Smokies, I had to work.
Carnes Motor Company is
Wanted to be
celebrating
there.
20 years of serving the living East Tennessean. Like us here at your Tony Basilio show, Carnes Motor Company wins because Rob and Brian go above and beyond for you. Above and beyond. Carnes Motor Company will even buy or sell your vehicle. Yes, they'll buy or sell your vehicle for you.
Y'all happy? Can I leave? Thank you.
Here. It's time to get your air conditioning serviced and get your vehicle ready for vacation with their certified technicians. And the best part, bumper to bumper, pillar to post. Carnes Motor Company will serve all your vehicle needs. How else can you thrive for 20 years besides going above and beyond? You will win with Carnes Motor Company. 7447 Oak Ridge Highway. Online at carnesmotor.com. Win with Carnes Motor Company. The kids are off to college. They're hundreds of miles away. And me and Mrs. B are staring at each other in an empty house. She wants to get away, go see a show or an event. Who do we call?
Yeah, Select Ticket Service.
How about when she wants to go to an NFL game?
Hey, Select Ticket Service. Back to the phones.
About a concert in Atlanta?
Select Ticket Service.
Say an NBA game in Charlotte?
Select Ticket Service. Select Ticket Service.
Select Ticket Service 687-1718. 687-1718. Select Ticket Service.
Yeah, that'll play.
Oh, we should have stopped there.
I'm back with you. And you know, better than ever, as they say in the trade, is now joining us on the program. Man who really needs no introduction, but we're proud of him. And I'll tell you one thing. I love David Ubben. He's done an incredible job on the Tennessee beat since he's been here. He just got really great news from The Athletic, as David Ubben has now been elevated in his responsibilities there. And David, I wanted to bring you on to celebrate that fact. Last week we were on here celebrating the first press conference, and you joined us right after that. It's kind of something about you and Hypo following each other on this program. But we wanted to bring you on and just say congratulations to you on your great news, and tell us what it means, David.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. College football is my favorite sport, and the vanity of the sport is always something that has drawn me to it. The fact that nobody's in charge, the postseason doesn't make sense. Everybody plays by different rules. Frustrating for fans, but very entertaining to write about, and I'm excited to be able to write about all of it.
Yeah, and it is absolute nuttiness. If you were to drop an alien, space alien in here, and you were to say, okay, now, all these guys work for free, all these coaches are multimillionaires, some schools are allowed to cheat, some aren't, some have inherent, just absolutely inherent incredible advantages, others don't, and yet upsets still happen on Saturdays. Weird things, when you throw all that mix together, the game still remains great. The postseason's totally broken, but the game still remains great. I mean, it's just an incredible sport.
And the best team gets the first pick, or the first 20 picks of the draft every year.
Yes! Like, here's my thing, right? So we were talking a couple weeks ago at this whole super conference concept, that everybody, and obviously anybody can see that that's kind of where this thing is heading. How do you do that if you're really going to have an interesting super conference? I say this on the air and people get mad at me because they love this recruiting stuff. People live for recruiting. And my favorite thing about recruiting, David, is that when you get a player, it's because of great recruiting in the Southeastern Conference. When somebody else gets them, they bought them. But when you get them, it's because of,
They dropped the bag, Cody. They dropped the bag on them.
Drop the bag, yes. And so my thing is, how are we going to do a super conference without doing a draft? I mean, that's my thing. If you're going to do a super conference, you'd have to do a draft, right? To disperse the talent.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like the idea of drafts in general. I mean, soccer, they get away with it fine.
Oh, come on.
It obviously gets a little messy.
Damn it,
your
dude.
education is tied to it. It's like, well, I want to be drafted by Stanford, not, whatever. Not to demean the degree of some universities, but don't want to be drafted by somewhere I don't want a degree from or somewhere that doesn't have the program. So it gets a little messy. So logistically, I think you run into some brick walls there. I think it'd be good for the sport in general, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and again, we have all these, and now the other thing is you're getting ready to jump into covering this league at a time where it's going to expand, at a time where NIL is becoming a living and active thing, at a time where the NCAA rulebook is getting ready to be, if not thrown away, at least radically altered, which is going to leave a lot of these institutions to their own devices. And David, that's going to be very fun.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you couldn't pick a better time to be covering the sport at a time with so much change. Obviously, realignment, the NIL aspect of it, the transfer portal, the Austin case, all these things. There's 500,000 things to write about, and you still have so many of the personalities, the atmospheres, and the pageantry, and all that stuff. I'm really excited about it.
So when do you go? When does the jump happen?
Well, it's sort of been happening for a while. Sort of doing stuff, and you'll see some more stuff from me soon, and you'll still see some Tennessee stuff coming. We've got a handful of things still in the works, so I'll be writing a little bit about Tennessee, and you'll see my replacement eventually, but there'll still be some Tennessee coverage.
Do you have a thought on where the Tennessee thing is heading in this first year? Now that you're probably more at liberty to talk about it since you won't be around it, are they going to be? Are they going to be surprising, or is it going to be a rough first year for them? What's your sense?
I mean, it's going to be fun and probably not very good. That's just kind of what I think it's going to be. I do think they're going to score some points on most people. Can they get enough stops? I'm going to give a gigantic PBD on that one.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're going to be more fun. If you're going to go, what was Tennessee last year? 4-6, 3-7, I guess.
Yep.
If you're going to go 3-7, you might as well go 3-7 and be fun. I think Tennessee will be better than that this year. And they're going to be more fun. And last year. I could be wrong about that. But like my point was, it might have been more. I forget what it was. It was very, very low. I think it was the lowest, just pure touchdowns, the most celebrated play in football.
Yes.
Like that's the time when it's like most fun. It's like a goal in soccer. You know, you score a touchdown, you're high fiving strangers, you're doing all that stuff.
That's exactly right.
Tennessee hasn't done very much of that, and like this is supposed to be fun. It's not that
$2.70 a gallon.
fun.
God, man.
Or lose to teams.
You're killing me.
Like, so whether Tennessee is winning or losing, you know, they're going to beat some teams 51-17. They're going to lose some games, you know, 55-45. I just think that's going to be more fun. And, like, they've got a lot to prove to be good and sort of climb that mountain in the division that's been really uphill for them. But there is, I think, very tangible value in having a more aesthetically pleasing brand of football on the field, and they're going to get that. How good are they going to be? We'll see. I mean, not very good this year. The depth is not there. The athletes aren't quite there. But they're not going to be, you know, 2-10 bad.
All right, so let's say the number was 19 touchdowns, okay?
All right.
How many
sleep.
games will it take Tennessee to do that this season?
And, of course, it's raining. I made some money while we slept, though. Heck yeah.
I mean, they get the luxury of getting Bowling Green.
Man, I'd love to see them make more than 10 grand
I mean, I don't know
now.
if people pay attention there.
All right, we're going to go right
That's
out of
basically
here.
an FCS game, and then you have Tennessee Tech. The Pitt game, you know, we'll see. I think that probably is going to be high scoring. You know, they're going to be able to, I think they're going to be able to score some points on Florida. Can they stop Emory Jones and them? I'm not sure, but they're going to be able to score some points on Florida. I'm not so sure they're going to be able to score on the Georgias and Alabamas of the world. They can match them athlete for athletes. This system really struggles when you don't have superior athletes. But I would say probably 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I think it's probably a pretty good read on that system when Heupel was there. If you're an equal team or you're a little better, you have a chance to really rip somebody apart. And if you're playing somebody that's a lot better than you and they're having a good day offensively and they're paying attention, they're probably going to bust you wide open. That's probably how this is going to go here at least.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this. You know, I had a front row seat to this with Baylor and watching how they did, and it's going to be a very similar system. Not identical, but very similar. When you have better athletes and you have a quarterback who can sling it and speed on the outside, 40 and 50 points. I mean, it's hard not to score that much when you have better athletes. But when you don't have better athletes, you get shut down in a hurry. We saw that with Baylor early on. When they started climbing the ladder is when they started recruiting at a totally different level, bringing a bunch of NFL guys in and being able to compete on the line, and having, you know, guys on the outside that can run past for the corners and big open linemen. And when they had that, that's when they started climbing the ladder. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. You got to have guys who fit your system and guys that are really good players. And if you can do that, you can do well. But yeah, you're not going to lose or flirt around with the UTEPs and the Charlottes of the world in this system. If you've got better athletes, you really are going to win. Tennessee will have that opportunity.
The great David Aubin. If folks want to continue to follow you, tell them about The Athletic and what all you've got cooking, because every time I open The Athletic, like yesterday I did a workout, and I was in the gym for an hour, and I read like 3 or 4 long-form stories, just different things, and before I knew it, I read one on Gert Mueller, the old German soccer striker, a real nice, great long-form story on him, and before I knew it, it was time to head home.
Yeah, I mean, we've got everything. And obviously, it's fantasy football season. I was
Oh.
a fantasy football guy.
Some thunderstorms. Uh-oh.
I use line draft. And then, of course, our college football staff, you know, the best there is. And then I think, you know, from our NBA staff to we've got soccer writers in the UK all over the place. I mean, if you're interested in it, we've probably got somebody covering it about as well as anyone. So, you know, from that team coverage, league coverage, big picture stuff, we've got it. You know, MMA, motorsports, all that stuff. The great Jeff Bluff works for us. I mean, I'm biased because they do sign my paycheck, but I would subscribe and read it every day, even if they didn't. And that's just the truth.
It's incredible.
I like reading it. I'm a customer as much as I'm an employee.
Well, I'll tell you this. I love are you an MMA guy? I like the MMA. You know, Tony Vitello got me into the MMA, and I really enjoy it.
Nah, I'm not really into it. I think part of it is it's a little violent, and also I don't really understand the strategy of it. Kind of like hockey to me. You know, it just sort of looks like wrestling, and I can't understand the finer points of it. And I'm at the stage in my life where I need to start caring about less things, not adding another thing to care about. The same reason why I really enjoy international soccer, but I don't really get into like the Premier League and all that stuff. I need to start trimming things in my life to be invested in, and not adding things. So,
Okay.
I'm not a huge MMA guy, but certainly there are lots of folks who are, and if you're an athletic subscriber, you'll be well served in that area.
Are you
Great,
kidding
David
me?
Oven. Congratulations. He's moving on and be covering the Southeastern Conference at large. He's still going to be here in the land of the living for a while with us here in East Tennessee. And thank you, David. Great job on the Tennessee beat through the years. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Great David Oven. Incredible. Guy does incredible work. And I thank him.
Thank him.
Brian, do you or Matt like MMA? Has Vitalo
No.
pulled you into the MMA? The power of Tony V. He doesn't have that much power for you. How about you, Dixie Crat? Dixie Crat, do you ever look at the MMA?
I'm not into MMA.
I love it. It's human cockfighting.
Doesn't appeal to me.
I'm all for human cockfighting. It's actually not. It's actually very good. My take on MMA is very nuanced. People that don't watch it say, and I get it. Everybody's got different sorts of different. They say it's like human cockfighting. It's this.
All right,
it's really
1,200
like, I
miles.
watch it with lovely Laura loves it.
A
We
full
watch
tank
MMA
of gas.
Every time it's on, we watch it.
Diesel.
She loves it.
1,200 miles separates us from $102,000.
Actually not, but anyway. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. The thing I like about MMA is the people that do that sport really respect that sport. And believe it or not, they respect each other. Which is an interesting thing to say about a sport where they're in the ring trying to kill each other, but they're really not. There's a lot of respect. Matt, David had an assertion, and you've done the deep dive into Heupel, that when he plays better teams, his system is conducive for them to get trucked. Do you buy that?
Yeah, that possibility is there. And I'm sure it'll happen to Tennessee a few times this year. When you're going fast paced and doing all the stuff that offense does, you can score quickly or give up scores quickly. So it kind of works both ways. But on the flip side,
Come on, buddy, get out of the way.
you have to do something different than the other teams that are ahead of you right now. In this
Oh,
league.
oh, oh
Try to find a
no.
way to catch up or try to find
I
an
thought
area
this
where you
was
can
damn
exploit them at it.
one lane,
Because
just
as good
wide.
as
Damn it,
is,
man.
I mean,
Why?
He was so far behind
Asshole.
in Georgia, yet he was trying to play the exact same way as they were, and he was never going to catch up to them. And Alabama's the same way, and that was before the offensive philosophy that Saban brought in there. So at least we're doing something different than the teams we're kind of chasing.
I find that to be a very worthwhile statement. That's worth repeating. And furthermore,
I mean, I don't think we're doing
last year
anything
we had 17
different, I
touchdowns on the
guess.
year. Do you guys know the number? Anybody know the number off the top of their head? What we scored?
It said 19.
Or 19, I'm sorry. Whatever the number is. How long will it take us to get 19 touchdowns this year? I want to ask the listener that. Because I'm going to tell you something. I think, and you can laugh at this, I think they're going to put 7 touchdowns up at least against Bowling Green. 7 off.
Get half of that total in one game.
I think that's right. I think 7 offensive touchdowns are coming against Bowling Green.
And if they could get half the other total in Tennessee Tech game.
I agree with that. You took the words meatloaf right out of my mouth. Meatloaf.
All right, sun's coming up on this rainy day. Hopefully this rain stops soon.
Hello and welcome in. We gotta start playing 2 out of 3 ain't bad whenever Florida calls in. A little meatloaf for him. Hello and welcome in. Cause listen to my friend Florida. Listen, and all the Florida fans. Listen. You but he's never gonna win the big game. Don't feel sad, don't feel bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You clowns. Hello and welcome into our first call. You're on the air. Hello. Right. First call's gone. Second call. Welcome in. Welcome into our second caller. And if that's who I think it is, and I've got a great auditory memory. Have you ever heard, Florida, That Jam? Do you know that song?
Yeah, Carly Simon, brother. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let me tell you something.
It ain't Carly Simon, but
Whoever,
continue.
Whoever she is, but let me tell you this.
Yes.
You see, like you tell me, it seems like that I'm scared. It seems like to me you're a little fearful over Tony B. It seems like to me you're the one that's scared of coming down there to get what you're gonna get. Brian, am I on point
Oh
with that,
boy,
Brian?
here we go. We're virtue signaling with Brian now. We're appealing to Brian. Florida's appealing to Brian.
Hey, you called me out, Tony, on national radio.
When did I call you out?
Just a few minutes before I called, Tony. I've been sitting there listening to you. You're a bunch of callers, the males, the callers, everything. Tony, you're supposed to be the one that's crying after it's all said and done.
Dang.
Well,
and I'm going to make a song up about you when it's done.
Florida, I'm going to tell you something. Now, you and I can sit there. You know, you and I can sit here all night. We can talk all night about this. But I'm going to tell you something, Florida. You ain't got a chance, brother. You ain't got a chance.
Tony, don't you think it's ironic that you talk about me and I'm the first caller, bro? Don't you think that...
Well, would you like me to put somebody in front of you? Because I can do that. I mean, if you'd like me to do that.
You should have, Tony, because you know why you should have.
I think 1-900-ANDY was the first caller. Andy, the beat poet, who is a modern day... He's a cross between Gil Scott-Heron and Africa Bambaataa, the godfather of hip-hop. But Andy has a spoken-word poem, and in it he disses Florida. But I'll tell you this about your guys, okay? The thing you've got to understand about Meatloaf is 2 out of 3 ain't bad, brother. You're going to win 8 games. You're going to win 9 games, you know? But you're never going to win the big game. You're never going to win the big game, Florida.
What have y'all won, Tony?
You might, listen, you might be, I kept on telling you this, listen.
Oh, God.
8 games, 9 games, but there ain't no way you're gonna win the big game. Now, don't feel bad. Don't feel sad, because 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Do you want to sing, Tony, or you want to talk sports? Listen. Was Tennessee ranked anywhere in the 18 top 25, top 50? Was Tennessee ranked anywhere in there?
They're in the 47 range. The Vols are in the 47 range right about now.
You know, they pull out. They don't even put Ole Miss in there, bro. Ole Miss was left there. LSU was left there, Tony, but no Tennessee. You talking about everybody.
Rain's letting up finally. Thank goodness.
Everybody, look here. When you play this game, Alabama might be preseason number 1, but somebody might come in there and shock them. So you don't know. We don't know. So guess what? You can be happy all you want to right now.
That's why it's a great game. That's why it's a great game.
Are you going to be on game day all day?
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
When you heard Josh Heupel talk about his offense today and the way they were moving the ball down the field, did you think to yourself, man, we're in trouble? Did that thought cross your mind?
They're playing each other. They're not playing anybody. They're playing each other. So what are to be worried about that for?
Did the thought cross? I mean, I'm just asking you a question. Did the thought cross your mind?
No, because you know what? You can practice and scrimmage all day, but until you get in there, either that moment in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at 150 degrees. Oh, come on, bro. Do whatever you got to do. Hype it up hype him up as much as you want.
Hype a lot.
Keep hyping him.
Hype a
Keep
lot.
hyping him. Because you know what? Because you're gonna see. You're gonna see, and then when I call there,
Boy,
Brian,
Florida has been pissed off.
Here we go, Brian. Brian, can I ask you
Since
something?
a couple weeks ago,
Brian,
they
should
said
we
we
make
were going to
Florida
beat
in the
them.
middle of the night a piece of our up all night Tennessee marathon if he'll do it?
Yes.
For cash and prizes. Florida, would you come in here?
We gotta
and
do our
host a little
tryout.
bit of the up all night marathon if you were called upon?
Welcome to the Garza Law Firm 5th quarter fan reaction, folks. Your Tennessee Volunteers 72-10 winners tonight over at Bowling Green.
Oh, gosh.
Let's go to the next caller. Who we got?
Brian, what have you
Oh,
done?
Tony Bozzolio!
You got like a soft
Hey, what's going on, small Mike?
Brian knows.
Tell him, Brian, we're rocking him, Brian. Tell him.
Brian is not going to say anything until I'm right.
He ain't saying anything. He's just sitting there.
I want to see what the offense can do against what Tennessee can do with this kind of offense.
That's so.
That's all I'm saying, Brian.
So lame.
That's all I'm saying, Brian.
What is wrong with you?
Tony is so excited, and he's like it's like his
I just want a Heisman Trophy candidate skill player. Like, give me a Heisman quarterback or wide receiver or running back, please, just
Hey,
once.
Florida, I'm getting ready to count you down. Now, why is it that your phone calls have been ending like that lately with me getting you to count down?
Hey man, as long as you ought to might just start throwing them copper cards in there, because I make this thing happen for you every time.
So in your opinion, you're the top call of the day. You're the copper card winner right now.
Every time I
Just wait for Percy, Florida.
Bino knows it. Hey, look here, I bring the noise for you, bro.
Matt Dixon, who's had the top call in the first hour? Let's see what Matt Dixon says. Who's had the top call in the first hour, Matt?
Well, there's only been one call.
Definitely Florida.
Yeah. You are the top call the first hour.
I'm going to come in there and host your show, Tony, and like I said, we're going to kick it, man. But
Man, you should go national, Florida.
You got to get both ends of the spectrum, from Florida side and Tennessee side. You just can't be a fan. You got to be neutral. I'm a Florida Gator fan, but you know what? When we had Felipe Franks and he was garbage, guess what? I called him garbage. In front of everybody, he was garbage. And Trask was a welcoming, opening, a breath of fresh air from that, bro. You have to do the same, Tony. You have to do the same, bro. Or your show's not going to last.
Have you
every day
listened to the last year? We just talked about how much we suck, how much our coach sucks.
Florida, I love you like an absolute champion. Actually, I just wish you cheered for another team and you weren't so obnoxious. But have a great day, buddy. Be blessed.
You know?
Yeah.
A better question to ask about how fast it's going to take this team to score 19 touchdowns.
Yes.
Last team didn't get to play Bowling Green and Tennessee Tech. They had to play all 10 SEC games. How many touchdowns could last year's team put on Bowling Green, this bad Bowling Green team? I think that's a good question to ask.
Well, let's
5
go
or
back
6.
2 years ago. Okay. How many touchdowns did that team score in the month of September? How many touchdowns will this team score in the month of September? That is a fair comparison.
Right.
Fair comparison, Matt? Fair comparison? Month of September, guys. 4 games.
Yeah, because, I mean, Georgia State.
We're looking at almost under 1,000 miles now. Heck yeah.
Fairly comparable.
Okay, so here's the question. How many touchdowns did the Tennessee score with the club master at the helm? That Eric Ainge was just covering for it every. I mean, how embarrassed would you be to be Eric Ainge? You talking about something that Ainge
Damn,
all the water
Tony.
carrying he did for him.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
No, Eric's listening right now. He's in his car. But please don't do that again. That was embarrassing.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
for you, not against you. I mean, jeez Louise. 865-200-5402 is the numero uno. If you want to get in here, I got to wash the taste of Florida out of my mouth here. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome.
Tony, Jake from State Farm, man.
Hey, Jake. Welcome
Jake
in,
from
buddy.
State Farm. How you doing, buddy?
Florida, man, have me rolling. I mean, when you started talking about.
Oh God, we got a pumper.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be rocking. After Alabama beats them and 35,000 people show up the next week, it's gonna be absolutely off the chains, man.
Nobody's scared to go to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Are you kidding me? They can't even fill up their own student section.
I tell you what, they had.
Yeah, when your whole argument
really
is
had
that
last
it's
year.
hot and humid, it's
They
like,
had
yeah,
that ball club
this is
from
the SEC,
LSU
buddy.
really
Everywhere
great.
is hot
Went
and
down
humid.
there. LSU went down there. I think they won a game.
Everywhere. And it's
They went
miserable.
down there and rolled them like a
You ever
Herbie
thinking about
Hancock
moving to the
joint
South,
cigarette.
folks? Don't do it. It's a
Give me
trap.
a break, Florida, you clown.
That stadium is such a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke fan
It is a
base.
joke.
They're, you know, they're like 4
Really
miles
cool
wide
kind
and
of
an
stadium,
inch
kind of
deep,
sucking
their
into the
fan
ground
base.
a little
Ours
bit.
is 1,000 miles wide and 1,000 miles deep.
You know, amen to that, and I know why he's calling so much.
Yes.
You can hear it in his voice. He knows that we have something now that we haven't had in a very, very, very long time.
Oh my God!
And that's a freaking
Stop!
offense. And that
Stop! Why are we doing this to
We can
ourselves?
hear it in your voice that we
What
have
are we
something now that
doing,
we all are
man?
not used to
Fucking
having.
stop!
And that's a dead gum offense. And you know, Oven really hit on something in your interviews that I think is very, very true. And I, you know, when we talk about the importance of stability here, and it's of huge importance, big priority that we need to place on having stability, having a coaching staff stay for 4, 5, 6 years. And I think that is so much easier to do when you have a fun offense.
Oh God!
And that's what he said. He's like, we're not going to be good, but you're going to be fun. And you
think fans are going to accept that after we had 2 seasons in the past decade that was that? Get the fuck out of here, Jake from State Farm. Get off of here, bud. Jesus Christ. I hate our fans. They're the stupidest people in the fucking world.
Moderately better the next year. And then,
We got a freaking offense, Tony. Yeah, I heard you say it. Now I'm going to say it back and just say, oh, I'm so excited, Tony. Jesus Christ. What a desperate bunch.
So I thought when Evan brought that up, man, that's so huge for us to finally have some stability because we'll be able to power.
Stability? It's a fucking first-year head coach. How is that stability?
We're having fun.
Shut the fuck up, Jake.
Unbelievable take.
Yeah,
by you.
stupid take.
You know, I haven't
Horse
really thought
shit.
about it, but you can hear the fear.
Oh my
You can
God.
hear the fear in Florida's voice.
No, you can't. He's
can hear it
fucking
from here.
laughing at
You can hear
us.
It's,
He knows we're delusional. What are we doing? What are we doing, Vol fans? Stop.
blame you for being a
Stop.
I just want you to know.
God damn
this is
it.
your safe
What
place.
happens if we beat Bowling Green 35 to 10?
Nobody's going to judge
People are
you.
gonna be like, oh my God.
Jake, do you judge him for having
We're
that fear
gonna
to that?
suck.
Blame the guy.
Yeah, we knew we were gonna suck.
If I had played
Or no, they're gonna say, oh,
like us,
yeah, we were looking ahead to Pittsburgh. This game didn't matter. At least we won't give up 10 points. Fuck off, people.
and they finally get a high-powered offense. Yeah. I think we're
Yeah,
great because
yeah,
you don't want to see a team
yeah,
that went
yeah.
7 a year ago come in your house and beat you.
Florida, you have a home here. You always have a place to call, and I just want you to know that it's okay. It is.
Tony, you
okay to be
insulted the
afraid,
man on his way out.
and we're
No
here for you, man.
offense.
We're here for
We'll help you get that meatloaf out of your
Yeah,
mouth.
you can get that. We will be.
We've beaten the sons of bitches
toothpick
once
or
in the past
mouthwash.
15
We will help
years.
you get
Shut
that
up.
meatloaf taste out of your mouth.
Everybody shut up.
I just want you to know that. We're here
Jesus
for you.
Christ, man.
Hey, Tone, I need to get with you and
Tone.
send you
Tone.
my information. I'd love to meet up with Tommy and help him get acclimated to Memphis. And show
Oh,
him
beautiful.
how-
Thank God you're in
Please
Memphis,
do
you
that.
fucking
Please
idiot.
email me. I'll reach out to him. Maybe I'll schedule a 3-way phone call for us because he goes down there
Menage a
here in a
trois.
couple days. And Tommy, if you're listening, boy, what a great! I was so impressed. I had some friends reach out to me and they said, "There's no way that kid was only 18 years old." I said, "No, he's 17."
No, yeah, he sounds already just super professional. And got a
Professional.
has a perfect voice question. I did want to.
Not mature.
So you said
Professional.
in the radio business is wanting to do here in Memphis.
Yeah, he's wanting to do. He's wanting
All
to
right.
get into the
On
sports
some
radio, sports
aromatics
broadcasting business. I think he
for
really wants to do play-by-play.
some
I think
MLM
that's
moms
kind
on
of his passion.
Facebook here.
But any contacts that anybody has, that you have, I want to help
on
that
arrival.
young man. And I'll tell you something
We're
about him that I love.
down to
is the way he has
915 miles to
comported
go.
himself behind the scenes. He is very, very mature. Very mature.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, man, I'll send you my info, and we'll definitely. I'd love to meet up with him and just show him around.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Good talking to you. So here's the deal, right? My business. I help anybody.
Nice
I'll
little
be
stretch
glad to
of
help
interstate we've been
anybody
on
that's
here.
interested in my deal.
Just letting those miles tick away.
I've told parents that in the past, and parents have picked the phone up and called me, well, so-and-so wants to, and I said, I don't want to deal with you. If I'm going to help your son, daughter, what have you, I'd like to talk to them. Well, what do you mean? They're of age.
I'm Italian. What do you
Phone
think
up
I
and call
mean?
me.
Oh.
Or text me.
Whoa!
And I'll be glad to talk to anybody. But I'm not going to talk to you. And some people get that, some people don't. That young man right there, I love and appreciate so much young people that carry themselves the way he does. It gives me a feeling and a hope for the future. For the future, I say. For the future.
WJBE 1040 AM 99.7 FM. Translator W259AP. Powell, Knoxville.
I had a fellow one time, he says, yeah, my son's interested, blah, blah. And it's almost like 18, 19. And he calls me and he says, well, I said, we're not meeting. You're not in this. I'll meet with him. What do you mean? I said, hey, look, man, I'm not his parent, but I'm just going to tell you how I operate. I'll meet with him, or I'll talk to him on the phone. I'm not meeting with you. No offense. So that's how we roll around here, and I love helping people. So in the meantime, more on the other side, more calls after this. Your Tony Basilio radio family is so excited about the Josh Heupel era at Tennessee that we've decided to celebrate by staying up all night. What more would you expect from the show of record in volunteer country? Our entire cast and crew is on deck, ringing in the new era with a special all-night marathon edition of Garza Law Tennessee football.
We'll be there.
Quarter immediately following Tennessee and Bowling Green. As soon as Tennessee and Bowling Green goes final, we're up all night celebrating the rebirth of Tennessee football with you. So stay with us all night until the following day's
70.
Tony Basilio show. Everybody will be heard. No holds or callers will be barred. Thursday, September 2nd into Friday, September 3rd. Stay up with us. We celebrate a new era of Tennessee football. Tennessee football up all night. Presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law firm. Online at garzalaw.com. Smoothie King. Do something great for yourself at Smoothie King. Performance Medicine. Perform your best with Performance Medicine. Miller Lite and Alumni Hall. And the best on-air team in America on the best post-game show ever heard, serving the greatest fan base on God's green earth. Let's celebrate another Tennessee football season after the Bowling Green game. It's Tennessee all night. Go Vols! TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. It's football time all over East Tennessee, and you don't want to cook. So for your next tailgate or football party, let Calhoun's handle the heavy lifting. Visit any of Calhoun's 9 East Tennessee locations on your way to the game and pick up a Calhoun's Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack. You already know nothing goes better with football than Calhoun's world-famous barbecue. Now you can get the Calhoun's Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack with amazing barbecue ribs. Calhoun's Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack is a touchdown in a box. And now with Calhoun's barbecue or ribs. Add the buns, Smoky Mountain baked beans, and creamy coleslaw, and you're winning. Calhoun's even throws in the plates, napkins, and utensils for an easy-to-carry box. And the best part, it's just under $6 per person for the barbecue. Calhoun's Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack is undefeated, and now with ribs. And brisket available on Wednesdays. Call ahead and order online or from our convenient app, and we'll have it ready and waiting. The Feed 5 and Feed 10 family pack from Calhoun's. One of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, Calhoun's. Eat local. Eat good. Tony Basilio here from my good friend Marcos Garza in your Garza Law. Pretty jacked up that it's football time in Tennessee. How about
Freaking
you?
idiot.
Well, I still have word of a troubling development and what we can do about it. Because
Screw you, asshole.
remain in our area. Out-of-town law firms, carpetbaggers, have been swarming in the East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, Birmingham, they've stormed into our area. You've seen the ads on television. You've heard some of these new ads that are popping up on radio. Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you rather do business with somebody that's live and local? A local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and my friends at your Garza Law Firm are exactly that. These are your neighbors, your friends, our neighbors and friends. Support local causes year-round. Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm, always there for me when I have a need. For Fish Hospitality Pantry, and also our Machi Tailgate. Just to name a couple of things. They're live and local. They're one of us. They're of our earth. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries, and accident matters. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. And they will be for many, many years to come. Live, local, one of us, one of you. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. Basilio for Smoothie King. And look who's showing up at Smoothie King these days. It's TK and TK Jr., the dynamic duo, looking better than ever.
Better than ever. I want to be able to buy a damn dump truck or something. That'd be nice.
I can still take. Let the old man grow and make them feel a little better about themselves. Bob's taught me a lot of things, and one of them was eat healthy by drinking Smoothie King. Good nutrition, never tasted so good, and it's easy to eat on the move. Just roll to the drive-thru.
Good nutrition never tasted so
He's
good.
in a pod. That's what you guys are.
Got 700 miles.
SKFL. What a
Sleep here in
combination.
probably about
Almost as good
200
as
or
the
so.
offerings right here at Smoothie King. Slim, fitness,
Pretty
wellness,
close on
and break
fuel,
time
I'd
blends.
say.
Lean One, Gladiator, and
Oh, yeah,
Hawk
we're
are all
good
great
on
choices
fuel.
for your different needs. Greek yogurt,
Don't make a stop, man.
Power Plus. I absolutely love the vegan.
Yeah. Hell yeah, baby.
Get over yourself, Pop. Smoothie King is what we're here to talk about.
Oh,
The
shit,
new
wrong
metabolism boost food, coffee smoothies, angel food, and strawberry kiwi breeze are just a few of the most popular choices on the menu.
Thanks for the Smoothie King
Okay,
love,
that was
guys.
stupid.
Let's keep Tommy Boy Marine and his crew blending smoothies on Rocky Top for years to come. Delicious and nutritious. The healthy alternative to fast food. Say it with me, Kelly Duo.
Smoothie King.
He's coming in late, isn't he, TK?
What am I going to do with him?
Tony Basilio here with former Vol great Mark Griffin. And Mark's
Oh,
here to talk
fuck.
about performance medicine. And Mark's been going to performance medicine now for a few years. Mark, one of the things performance medicine did is help you with your low
Well, you know,
energy.
Tony.
Part of that
Oh,
was
decline,
hormone
decline,
therapy. How does that
decline,
help you,
decline,
Mark?
decline, decline. Don't decline.
back that I had
lost in the past, but I just feel like a new person. Tony, as you age, your hormones decline. As they
Hormones.
decline, you
Your
decline in
hormones
every way.
decline.
Performance medicine wants to keep you from declining as you age. Don't decline.
One of the misconceptions, Mark, people have about performance medicine is that hormones is all they do. I know for me, it was nothing of the sort. My vitamin levels were all screwed up, and they got me on a regimen. 3 years later, I feel like a brand new man. Did you experience something similar with them as well?
Tony, I did. It's like I was given a scorecard of the way I was living my life and some of the areas that were deficient. We took a look at the scorecard and said, this is where you need to address the meds you need. This is a lifestyle change you need to make. And I tell you what, it's all turned around as far as how I feel in a short period of time. And I know he can do the same thing for your listeners.
Don't settle for the way you feel. Performance Medicine. Online at performancemedicine.net. Performance Medicine. Chill, back with you. 865-200-5402
Music, thank goodness. Thank you,
is the
Tony.
number. If you want to join us, we are jacked up, excited to be with you today. Our head coach.
He don't yell at people. He tells them what to do, right?
Sean Sinclair,
Why they did what was
everybody
wrong.
do the Cinco.
Oh,
Everybody
shut
do the
up.
Cinco. I've decided Cinco bought season tickets this year, and he's getting on board. And I've decided that's going to be my tact here, that we're going to enjoy the upcoming season. In order to enjoy the upcoming season, I've decided we're going to climb all in on here. And that's why we're doing our Up All Night broadcast. And I've got a couple other special
Utah,
announcements
baby.
coming up. One later this week.
Are we going to head
In the
anywhere
meantime,
towards
we're going to go back to our
Vernal?
phones. Want to get as many people in here as we can. Brian, 2 years ago, do we know yet? As I bring our panel back in here, Brian Hartman and TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, who in the last 2 days has dropped over 8,000 words on Josh Heupel's offense, and Matt actually edited down his piece. It was originally going to be a book published by Simon & Schuster, or perhaps Knopf. Let me bring Brian Hartman in here. Brian, how many touchdowns 2 years ago offensively in the month of September did our Tennessee Volunteers score with, shall we say, the man we used to call Club, not to be confused with Clubber Lang? How many, Brian? How many? Hang on one sec, Brian. Give me a second. Go ahead.
Okay, they scored 10 offensive touchdowns in the month of September. One of them came on the last play of the game against Georgia State that was meaningless.
Right.
And they scored one in overtime against BYU. They scored 5 of those 10 in one game against Chattanooga. They scored 3 against Georgia State, and then the 2 against BYU. One was in overtime.
Can you imagine, Matt, having a quarterback that has 3 whole touchdowns, 3 offensive touchdowns against Georgia State, and keeping him in there for like 2 more seasons, Matt?
No. God, it was brutal. Oh my God, it's awful.
Okay, so 10 is the number. So here's the question, living listener.
Oh, God.
How long will it take? Let's do a little exercise here. Will they get to 10 this September? They've got 4 games in the month of September. A month you're always going to remember. They remember what you do in September.
Speed limit. Heck yeah.
And October and November.
What are we looking on the sleeve?
4 games in September.
Still good.
The 4 games are Bowling Green, who David Uppen, who was on with us an hour ago, called probably the worst team in Division I football. If they're not, they're at least bottom 3. They're bottom of the barrel, and they have 0 defense. They're little. They don't run well. They are, how do you put this? They're brutal.
Their schedule is comparable to September 2 years ago.
Isn't that interesting?
They got a division NFCS game against Tennessee Tech like they did against Chattanooga in the 3rd game. And Pittsburgh is very comparable to BYU.
I'd agree with
in
that.
the 2nd game.
I'd agree with that.
And Bowling Green was considered maybe worse than Georgia State, but they're probably the worst team in division in FBS. And Florida is at Gainesville, so there's the first schedule's identical almost 2 years ago.
Well, and you know what else, Brian? We had such little regard for that Georgia State team that we didn't even prepare for them. So I wish I could make that up, but unfortunately, you can't make that up. But we enriched Jeremy Pruitt. He got rich. Just didn't get his pay.
I don't think. I think Bowling Green probably isn't nearly as good as that Georgia State. That Georgia State team, I think, played in the bowl game.
All right, Matt's good at this.
Yeah.
Matt, let's go, Matt. Ready? Name a shot. You and Brian, let's do this together. Touchdowns, Bowling Green game offensively. Matt, hit it.
8.
Wow.
8 touchdowns? Nah,
wow. I'd say we got an over. If we're going to go 8. I'm going to conservatively say 6 or 7. But 8's a good number. That is 56 offensive points for those of you scoring at home. God, if we got into like the 70s and then started our bars of law up all night activity.
I'll say 9. I'll say they'll get 9.
Oh my God.
9. I will say this. If Heupel gets a chance with the way tickets have not sold, I think they're having like a 2-for-1 sale for Chattanooga, and I think they're going to have to paper the house a little bit for the opener. I'm not trying to be a downer here, I'm giving you some inside baseball. I think that's what they're going to do. Paper the house a little bit for the opener, get some tickets away, in other words. And it is what it is. You're almost to the point, though, as Tennessee, guys, if you get the chance, you got to throw the pedal to the metal. You got to. If you get the chance, you got to say, hey, Bowling Green, we're really, really sorry you guys are in this spot. Unfortunately for you, we're getting ready to throw an all-time number up on you. If you get a chance. Do you guys agree with that? I think you bring whoever your third-team quarterback is, whether it's Hooker, whether it's Bailey, and you throw the ball over the field, and you just keep working. And then after the game, you say, like Spurrier used to, hey, look, I got to work my offense here. This is what we're doing. I'm not going to apologize. We're going to work our offense. And if you can put 90 up on the board, you put 90 up, Bri.
Will the defense score a touchdown in that game?
Oh, surely.
I actually kind of think maybe I'll go a couple less on offense, and they'll get a couple on. They might get one on special teams and maybe one on defense.
So if you get into these teams are capable. Matt just did the breakdown. Matt, how many times at Central Florida did he touch 70 with that offense? Do you know? Did he touch 70?
70? I'm not sure they got to 70. They got into the 60s and 50s numerous times each season.
Okay.
I think one of his Missouri teams put 70 on somebody.
To the phones we go. So a little sidebar conversation.
All right, 580 miles.
So let's say conservatively 7.
More than halfway there,
probably
finally.
Conservative number for the Bowling Green game.
Said finally. More than halfway there.
Maybe 6 is a conservative number.
Period.
6 is bottom of the mark. Like the old man
6
on
is a good
Pawn
number.
Stars. 6 is bottom of the mark for me.
Rest in peace, old man.
So let's say you get 6. Then you go to the Pittsburgh game. Guys, how many against Pitt? They're an okay defense, not great. How many against
5
Pitt?
or 6.
I'll say 4.
4?
Yeah. So now you're at 9.
What?
Why did we put ourselves through Gitmo? What were we doing? All right, then we have Tennessee Tech. How many against Tennessee Tech? Conservatively.
7 or 8.
9's probably a good number because I think they're going to score a ton. I think they're going to let everybody play. 7 Well, let's just throw 7 up there as a conservative number. 9 sounds wild. 7's a good conservative number there. So what are we at right now, Brian? We're at 16.
Against an FCS team?
I mean, a conservative number. A conservative number.
Yeah, but this isn't a conservative offense.
So we had like what, 8 against Bowling Green.
Yep. 4.
4, that's 12. We'll go with 7. Let's say break it even and say 8 against Tech.
Yep.
That's 20. Florida.
Keep right.
You're looking at somewhere around 22 to 24 touchdowns, I guess.
How many against Florida? What's the number?
September.
What's the number against Florida?
Exit right.
Matt, you're good at this. What's the number against Florida?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
Conservatively,
tricky.
let's say 3. What's the number right now?
24, 23.
2.
TDs.
How many 2 years ago, Bri?
They had 10.
What in the world, Jeremy Pruitt? Give your salary back. Not only do you not get a buyout, give your salary back. Torturing this fan base. Torture. Torture, I say. Did we live through that? How many touchdowns again, Bri?
They had 10 total.
10?
In September.
Matt, did we live through that? Did I do like how many hours of Garza Law for 10 touchdowns?
Probably 1 an hour. You had probably more hours on Garza Law Firm overtime than touchdowns scored.
So
Well, then last year we only scored 19 all season, according to David Ovens.
Which is crazy.
I mean, I guess you can count the pick sixes we threw as touchdowns.
To the phones we go.
Jeez.
Hello and welcome into our next call.
No, Tony, I'm not
Oh,
going to
baby.
stay up at no 3:30 to help you do your calling.
You and Al Brown, 3 o'clock in the morning. How about 2? How about 2, Titans, Bill?
Forget it.
Are you excited for Garza Law, up all night, Tennessee football overtime? Let's
Do
say
it,
we begin
Titans
at
Bill.
midnight, Titans Bill. How much of it will you hear?
I'll tell you what, I would probably listen to a little bit of it.
Thanks. Do you ever have trouble sleeping, Titans Bill?
No.
Really?
Really?
Keep right.
Titans Bill, I find you to be a beautiful guy.
Well, thank you, sir.
But you're not welcome. You're not welcome here for the post game show. I just want you to know that. I'm not trying to start anything on you here, but you're not welcome.
Okay. I'll say,
Okay,
I'm
we
going to
need
make
to
a
start
prediction
looking
on
where we
who's
need
going to
to
be the starting
sleep.
quarterback.
All right, I want to hear this.
I'm going to say it's going to be that transfer out of Michigan.
Guys,
It's really nothing.
we usually call Bill breaking news. Bill, has breaking news, Bill? Matt broke some news today. In your humble opinion,
Tone, I can barely hear the caller.
oh, I'm so sorry.
He might have, but I didn't hear him.
Titans Bill, say it one more time.
I believe it's going to be that transfer out of the University of Michigan.
Brian, breaking news. What do you think?
I can't argue with that.
Breaking news, Bill. I think you're right, Bill.
I believe he's going to get it the old-fashioned way by earning it.
I don't think Heupel's coming off the whole concept of playing poker here, but it's bad poker. Everybody knows the cards Tennessee is holding right now. Everybody at the table knows the cards they're holding. Everybody at the table.
And I'll tell you what, I believe Heupel is going to pull a surprise. We're going to beat Georgia.
Wow.
I feel we have an offense good enough we can beat Georgia.
Bill, you got.
If I went out on a limb,
I
and
think
if my limb ends up
if this
being chopped
offense
off, it ain't the first time, Tony.
works,
Bill, you're not.
I mean, the past few years of the conference has shown
floating
that
on a cloud somewhere.
it's an offensive game now.
Now I'll talk about us and entertain the
So
possibility of
Alabama,
beating Florida because it's
I give us
within
maybe
reach.
10-20% chance.
Phil Steele
But
last
Florida,
week
Georgia, yeah.
painted a rather
Yeah, I
gloomy
think
and
we could
doomy
beat 'em.
picture of the Georgia game, guys, with his line. Matt, what'd you think of Phil Steele's lines, by the way?
I thought they were pretty good. I think the Ole Miss one seemed a little low. That they're just a 3-point favorite. Obviously, the Kentucky one's a joke because if our team even has a pulse, we're beating them. So that seemed like kind of free money. But for the most part, they were pretty accurate.
He really likes that Kentucky team for some reason. Is that because he does that thing with the returning players and that whole metric? I wonder what it is about Kentucky that Phil Steele basically said, I think they're going to finish second in the division. I was like, what?
Well, I think he's just trying to sell some magazines to a bunch of people who can't read.
And anyway, Tony, I believe Georgia's overrated.
No, they're not.
That's my perspective.
No, actually, Bill, they're not. They're actually very talented. The problem with them is, though, they just, for whatever reason, can't get over the hump. Over with Humpy out there.
Yep, to hell with Georgia.
Well, the bottom line of it is, it's typical when it comes to these teams out of Georgia. They just flat out choke.
Yes.
It doesn't make any difference. And I've said
Yeah,
this
but Mark Richt's
several times
better
before,
all-time coach
and I'm
than
gonna
Fulmer
continue
or
to say
Majors.
it.
What?
It doesn't make any difference.
What?
if
Mike
it's
Leach is a
college
better
or
all-time
pro.
coach than Fulmer or Majors. What?
And that's why I'm on the
Playoffs?
Braves
Shut up.
to, in the middle of the squared circle in the month of September, do the J-O-B, Titansville. The J-O-B in the middle of the squared circle. And
Yeah.
Titansville, I love you very much. I find you to be a great caller. Will you reconsider an hour of power, get some sleep that day? Yourself and Al Brown joining me in the Raymere studio, 3 a.m. You'll arrive here at the Raymere studio. Laura will have bacon and eggs. Upstairs, a full breakfast buffet going on.
Go ahead
You get to
and fill
hang
up,
out with our new
Lord.
dog, Lulu. You can flip her a few pieces of bacon.
I'll have to discuss this matter with Sandy.
All right, 3 a.m. You and Al Brown at 3 a.m. And Coach Brown, if you're listening, for you that would require about 19 hours of sleep the day before.
Matt and Kyle were 3 a.m. to 6.
Well, Kyle and Matt can use. They don't care. They would love to have Titans-Bill. Matt, Titans-Bill and Al Brown. Would you take it, Matt, on your team?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Why not?
Yes. Titans-Bill, love you. Thanks.
Take care, buddy.
865-200-5402.
And as is tradition, we
35
wake up
past
from
your hour.
sleeping and it's
If you wanna hunt
raining.
mix and mix
That's
hunt with
all right.
us. Let's get one more in, maybe two. Hello and welcome into our next call.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Hey, Philly!
Billy Willie.
How's Ronnie and Dixie doing? Also,
Pretty good, Billy. Got any basketball?
Great, Phil.
Oh, quick.
no. Tell Titans-Bill that Georgia Bulldogs are kind of like the Tennessee Oilers. They choke every time when it's nut cutting time.
Well, Titans-Bill predicted that the Toilers are making the Super Bowl this year. And, I mean, I guess stranger things have happened. I don't know how many stranger things, Phil, but I guess, how about that run they had to
456 miles.
the AFC
We are
Championship
good to
game
just
2
head
years ago,
straight
Philly?
there.
The Titans are not bad, Phil. You being a Cowboy fan, me being an Eagle fan, we ought to refrain from cracking on them because their organization's better than ours right now, Phil.
Yeah, you could say the Titans are sort of similar to the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, you could say that Nashville, as a pro sports market, probably belongs in Atlanta. They can get to the finals, but they can't win the ring.
Well, when the Braves, as long as they got Snickers, the manager's not going to win anything. I didn't call and talk about
Good point.
baseball.
Good point, Philly.
I want to talk a little bit about Florida. I'd like to know a little bit. Did he become a Florida fan when Steve Spurrier became coach, or is he from Florida?
Who's that?
Florida fan that calls in.
Turn right.
Good question, Phil. Now, Phil, do you think if we put Florida in here like at 3 o'clock in the morning, we'd keep the fans up?
Well, that's two ways of looking at it, Tony.
I mean, I'm thinking about inviting them in. Do you think there'd be some people
Philly
go after
is
him
my
at 3
favorite
o'clock in the morning
caller.
and say some things
He's
the
the
next
most
day
real
they might
caller.
regret and really get after him?
Turn left.
Yeah, because he put alcohol involved in much possible.
Oh, Florida. You better stay away, buddy. We're going to leave a heavy lifting to Al Brown at 3. What do you think Al Brown would sound like, Philly, at 3 a.m.?
He might be okay. I mean, he's Purdue grad. I mean, he probably stayed up from parts of midnight oil getting ball players at Purdue, didn't he?
Brownie! Burning the midnight oil, getting ball players. I bet Brownie was involved in the recruiting game when they used to babysit him, Philly, in the driveway. You hear those old coaches talk about how they would sit in the driveway and literally run like recon and guard their players. They would sit there like in the cul-de-sac where a house was or wherever and sit there on the street and watch to see if rival coaches were coming by in the middle of the night to deliver cash.
Well, that's back when Stu Everdeen was up there in New York getting King and Grunfeld. He was up there the whole time. Got to do what you got to do to get ball players.
Absolutely.
Tony, I think the key in Tennessee season, I think they're going to score some points. Anything be better than what we've seen in the last 3
Say
years.
defense.
Under
Say defense, Philly.
Skullcan. I think how well our defense plays is going to determine what kind of season.
Thank you.
Philly, do you believe, like I believe, that we are going to rip some teams apart early in the season and that we're going to score a bunch of points and that we're going to blow through Jeremy Pruitt's 10 touchdowns from last year? We might do that before we even get to the Florida game, talking to Matt and Brian.
Yeah, but Matt made a good point, or as Brian won earlier in the show, that we're going to get waxed like that too.
Oh, no question. There are going to be some games where we get absolutely trashed playing this way. But I'm willing to do that if it means being fun to look at, Phil.
Well, I agree. It's all about quarterback play. If we get a quarterback, we can at least get to a bowl game, and that would be a great accomplishment for this team this year.
No doubt about it, Philadelphia. No doubt about it.
It's being realistic too, because I heard some of these people around town saying 7-5, 8-4. I don't know what they're smoking.
Well,
you know,
I think my man,
Passing.
Andy said that we're going to win 11. He has us beat. He said he had us beaten. He had us beaten Georgia.
What schedule's he looking at?
Well, you know, that's funny. We ought to do Thursday. We ought to grab some schedules and see if we can find one in America where Tennessee could win 11 games.
You'll have to go down to FCS level a bunch, I bet.
Wow.
Tony, the Pitt game is probably the most important game of the year, but I think the Kentucky game, about us winning and having a good season, we have to beat Kentucky.
Philly, I'm ready to absolutely destroy them.
Me too.
You talked about a fluke last year.
Bullshit.
That was a fluke of all flukes. A fluke of all flukes.
Tony's pretty cool. You got Miller Lite for one of your sponsors. Does that mean there's going to be plenty of Miller Lite in that refrigerator?
Yes.
Down there when y'all do it?
Yes, it is stocked for you and ready for basketball season.
We'll keep a few of them over there until basketball season gets
it's going to be stocked for you, Phil.
All right, see you guys.
See you, buddy.
See you, Philly.
865
Love Philly. What a great caller. A great man.
19 in front of the hour if you want to jump in. If you want to get in the mix and in the hunt with us, we are here today to serve you at 19 in front of the hour. 865-200-5402.
383 miles.
Tony Basilio and you, welcome into our next call.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
I got some numbers for you.
All right, I want to hear some numbers.
I got Tennessee at 857 wins. I got Florida at 743. That's a difference of 114.
That's all time.
All time, mister. I got 6 national titles for Tennessee and 3 for the Orange Squeezers down there in Florida. Then I got 53 bowls for the Big Orange of Tennessee and 46 for the Gators. Let me tell you something, mister. Until Spurrier came along, you didn't know what football was. You're known for hurricanes and oranges. We're going to come down there, mister, and, well, we're going to kick your ass. That's what we're going to do.
What a great caller.
Well, basically, we got to protect the young quarterback and keep it close to the best. In Tennessee.
Oh, my God.
I love that phone call.
Oh, my
I respect
God.
that. Brian, I appreciate
Yes, that's what we're going to do, mister. And we don't have that coach that goes, well, basically, we got to protect the young quarterback and, keep it close to the best. And it's football time in Tennessee.
That in Tennessee
I
was
love that phone call.
perfect.
I respect that.
That
Brian,
was
I appreciate
great.
that. I
It's
stand by that
football
phone call.
time in Tennessee.
Into a John
Man, that
Ward.
was great.
2 Johns.
And a Pruitt.
And a Pruitt.
Okay.
Okay.
That I gotta
He's
listen
going
to
to play
that.
the best quarterback.
I'm in Tennessee. And we don't have that coach that goes, well, basically, we got to protect the young quarterback and, keep it close to the best. And it's football time in Tennessee.
I love that phone
That
call.
was amazing.
I respect that.
Keep it close to the best. And it's football time in Tennessee.
Dang.
I love that phone call. I
Great
respect
call.
that.
Great
Brian,
call.
I appreciate that. I stand by that phone call. A John Wayne into a John Ward. 2 Johns.
And a Pruitt.
And a Pruitt.
Beautiful sunrise here.
Bye.
344 miles
He's gonna
away
play
from
the best
Denver,
quarterback.
the
He's
airport
gonna play the
there,
best
which
one
we've
we
traveled to
got.
many
Gary's
times.
the best.
Okay.
Thank goodness those days are gone. I'm so excited because I'm going to enjoy football season again. Can I share that with you?
Oh,
God,
wow.
the last couple of years were hard. I tried anyway. Come on, it seems they were hard.
So, South Carolina has gone to Zed Nolan, who played at North Dakota State, started his career at Iowa State, and is now on their roster as a quarterback.
Did you say Zed Nolan? Z-E-D?
Zed Z-E-D Nolan.
Oh, I was hoping it was Zed, because Zed is 0 in Canada. 6 Zed 7.
What? That is just how they pronounce Z in Canada, Tony.
He's just on their roster as a quarterback. I don't know if he probably won't be starting, but who
What?
knows?
Why did you... Wait a second.
They just added him?
Yeah. Colin Taylor says.
Coach Tyler?
Wow, that's
Okay, so
interesting.
South Carolina's got a 4th-string quarterback joining the team this week.
Wait a second. Why would they add a quarterback now? We are living through some weird times. I mean, who knows if guys will play?
Their quarterback got hurt the other day in the scrimmage, but
I'll tell you who's not going to be very good this year, or next, or the year after that, or the year after that, is South Carolina.
I don't know.
And if you don't rip off 4 or 5 or 6 game winning streak against them, you got issues.
Frank Beamer. Shane Beamer.
Oh, that guy's going to be so bad.
They do have a couple. What is
Frankie Jr.
They have a few strong running backs there, though. The one got hurt last year.
No doubt about it, Brian.
The defensive front 7.
Good job, Brian.
Game that day.
No doubt about that, Brian.
Good job, Brian. Way to go, buddy.
Their secondary will throw for 500 yards on them.
Again, I'm I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not going to back off that. If you don't beat them, you got big trouble in Little China. Going back to our phones. 865-200-5402. My name is Basilio. This is my playground. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in.
Even Gumpy has a two-game winning streak on them.
Gumpy. Hello and welcome into our next call.
Tony.
Well, here he is, man of the hour. We were just talking about your Wildcats.
Well, you know, I think Wildcat football sucks, anyway. So they don't.
Why? You're a Kentucky fan. How can you think it sucks?
Tony, you know that's not true.
Well, you are. Okay, who do you cheer for? Who do you cheer for in basketball?
Kentucky.
Okay, well then you're a Kentucky fan.
No.
No.
I'm a UT football fan and Kentucky basketball fan.
How? Why? Get out of here.
I know, right? Do you like what do you do in baseball season? You go for Louisville, really? I mean, really? Do you like triangulate across the board?
Come on, Tony.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Tony.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Tony, that's where I'm from.
Well, hang on a second.
I lived there as a little kid.
Okay, and then you live here now. Okay, so you live here now. So why don't you cheer for the Kentucky, the football team then? If you live there as a little kid.
We never went. It was back living in Kentucky. At least when I did, back in the '70s, it was basketball. There was no such thing as Kentucky football. Even where I lived in Kentucky, we did not have the high school team. I lived in nowhere, Kentucky. We didn't have a high school football team, nor did we have a little league football team.
But Frank Kersey had a team one year that was like undefeated towards the end of the year. Now they got in some NCAA trouble, of course, but they had a team that was tremendous. You mean tell me you guys didn't latch onto that?
Looking at 239 miles.
I can't anybody else, but not my family. We lived in nowhere, Kentucky, and it was Kentucky basketball. That's what in Cincinnati Reds baseball.
I could never deviate and not cheer for my team. I don't understand. I don't relate to. I tried that one time with the New York Mets, and Brian and Vino got all over me. And I did it for like 5 minutes. I cheated on the Phillies for maybe I had 2 trysts. You, on the other hand, lay down in bed with another school constantly. And I just don't.
Uh-oh.
No offense to you, but you're kind of a hoe when it comes to sports. You're kind of a hoe when it comes to sports. And I don't understand that. You're like a sports hoe.
I've never been called a hoe before, Tony. So
well, no problem.
I'm not...
Brian Hartman, do you agree with me that Wildcats are kind of hoes, sports hoes?
Yeah, that's a good term. That's a really good term for it.
I mean, if Hacksaw Jim Duggan was here, he'd tell you to your face, ho! Ho!
So Tony...
Jim Duggan.
A couple things.
Yes.
Can we have just like the only thing I'm going to miss about the Jeremy Pruitt debacle, as far as for the fifth quarters, look, that was some of the best hot takes by callers in sports radio history. I mean, that was some of the best entertainment.
Yeah, it's a shame all those are gone.
The hot takes.
I don't know how to go back and listen to last season.
Jeremy Pruitt era when it came to the guards of fifth quarter.
Oh, you're still now listen. You're still going to get really angry people. Like that's not, and really, shall we say, inebriated people. These are things that won't change. Okay.
Won't change. Okay. Well, then too, can we at least have one segment a day that you devote to just ripping Columbus?
We're under 200?
I mean,
192. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
Dedicated segment of where each caller gets to rip him in any way.
No, I'm really thinking about inviting Columbo on our marathon.
Do it.
I'll tell you what, because I think after he sees what Tennessee's going to be converted.
Do you think he's going to have a religious experience?
Well, no. I think, though, that he's going to become, as Andy said in his spoken word tone, his poem, I think he's going to become a hypo disciple that night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to have a slumber party.
What a beautiful little scenery here.
My ship has truly come in, Tony.
Nice scenic drive, 174 miles away, $102,000 on our way. Oh, baby. What are we at?
Would you like to have under consideration?
Okay, so once our other drivers finish some deliveries, we're going to hit that 2 million mark. Hell yeah, baby.
5402. Sports Ho. Guy doesn't know, where his bread's buttered. Can't figure it out. He's a Kentucky fan 1 minute, Florida fan. He's probably like, okay, today don't we play in football and basketball? Because you have days in the fall when does he put like two different? What's he do there? Does he put like a split hat on?
What is Guru do? It's like North Carolina football guru. I mean, he's got one school in football and another school in basketball.
Wonder what we haven't heard from Guru.
What's Guru's thoughts on high school?
I mean, where's the Guru been?
The wizard.
Guru, when he became Dr. Guru last summer, was probably one of the greatest things that's ever happened to him. I think he got pretty angry that day when we were calling him Dr. Guru. Brief timeout. We come back with more. 8 in front of the hour after this. Tony Basilio. What in the world did I just do?
What'd you just do, Tony?
All right, give me one more crack at it here, sports fans. I am a goof.
Okay, we've got to...
One more crack, sports fans.
Make up some
Tennessee and Bowling Green goes final. War great for your furniture outfitter. Leo.com 524. Who's the head coach?
We're just like you. We're part of this community.
Group.com. See the link at Tone about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville.
144 miles. Go, baby.
TV here for Advent Electric. It's electric. Advent Electric, among the Southeast premier residential and commercial electrical contractors for over 20 years. You'll recognize our work from places like Neyland Stadium and Thompson Bowling Arena, Knoxville Convention Center, and the Sun Sphere. From wiring a downtown high-rise to installing a new fixture at your family's home, at Advent Electric, no job is too big or too small. Homeowners, as your electric bill through the roof, let our team of service experts show you the latest trends in lighting and LED fixtures that'll make your home more energy efficient, keeping your hard-earned money in your pocket.
Had a pretty good drive other than that one stupid wreck where...
including competitive pay and benefits. And business owners and managers.
Thought it was a one lane and we were going to see what was in front of the car in front of us, and bam, right to the side of the big rig. Sucked.
With one service call. Serving East Tennessee and the Nashville. We are going to, shall we say, stay on here and break it down scientifically. So if you want to get
Nope. Hashtag parody. Hashtag
hopefully we don't play any games
fair use.
Can't always predict that. So good to do that. In the meantime, hope you have a great day. Be blessed.
Hello, Ko Almeida. How are you? Brazil. That's awesome. Thank you.
So we had 90s night the other night. This is one of my favorite 90s tunes.
Don't do it, Tony. No.
Brian, there were some good country.
No.
Ball Cat Phillip there too.
Oh man.
Kenny Chesney.
Kenny Chesney's
Sorry,
got
boss.
He's going to do a
Right, we've got 112 miles to go here.
Technicolor Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So he's gonna have
Hopefully one of our drivers will finish a delivery. by the time we get back, or by the time we get there, so we'll hit that 2 million mark with our delivery. Love that.
What a joke.
Stop, Tony! Tony!
Let's get our next call in. We never close around here.
God.
24-hour marathon coming up after the all-night marathon coming up after the Bowling Green game. And
Be there. You be there too. Let's go, baby.
to give us a Bowling Green preview. He's very, very high on them. If you're wanting to watch a team that's just brutal. Hello and welcome in to our next call.
What we got?
Hey, Tony, it's Josh.
Under my wings. Joshy boy, did your Braves hang on and get the dubs last night on the coast?
Yeah, they won 12 to 2, Tony.
Oh, they weren't on the coast. The Phillies were on the coast. The Braves are on the coast.
They were in
next month.
They were on the coast, the East Coast.
Braves are in Miami. The Braves were down 2-1 third inning and put like a 5 spot on the board. And Machilio jumped off that game last night.
Yeah.
Yup. Braves are hot, Joshy boy. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And the Braves have got you excited right now, Joshy boy. Yes or no?
Yes, they are, Tony. I'm really excited, and hopefully they can keep that hot streak up when they play Vino.
Alright, under 90 miles to go. Hell yeah.
In that series.
Let's just focus on getting there. Come on now.
No, Josh, they're not.
Why you say that?
Because you're getting swept in your building, Josh. Look, whenever teams from our division play those teams, Josh, you know what happens?
What?
We do the El Foldo of the old Tento. And you got to be honest about it, Josh. Now, be honest. Be honest. Y'all can't play, Josh.
No, we can play, Tony.
Oh.
I am predicting that they lose Monday to the Yankees.
Okay.
And I predict a win when I'm there Tuesday.
Josh, you're in a streak right now. I don't know if you make money gambling, but I'm thinking about bankrolling you.
And, Tony, you know what? Nashville.
Yes.
I asked him the other day on Twitter
Yes.
what he thinks about the over-under total for Tennessee. And
Yes.
he said
Yes.
57.5.
Yes.
I asked him, should I bet on it?
Yes.
No, not
I'm kind of going to say I agree with Nashville right about now.
You don't think those teams will hit the over?
I don't like futures bets in college football with teams like Tennessee because all Tennessee has to do, Josh, is get 2 players hurt and their season's going to go all to hell. So why would you tie yourself into a long-term proposition like that, which is what that is, a long-term proposition bet, when you can just bet it week to week, and if that's what you want to do, you bet it week to week. You know? Bet it week to week if that's what you want to do.
I got a question for Matt.
All right, Matt's got an answer for you. Hit it.
Matt,
Keep left.
do you think the Tennessee offense is going to do really good this year, better than last year? I think we are excited.
What kind of question is that? What?
To do really good. I think Milton will be the starter.
Josh, I think Milton will be the starter as well, and I think you're going to see just a lot of improvement in basically every area of the offense. Not sure how what their final numbers will be, but they'll probably be kind of the middle of the pack in the SEC and nationally, which is a huge step up from where we've been the last couple of years. So
I don't think you can be middle of the pack. You gotta be near the top. You have to have one of the best offenses in the league.
which is the whole point of
To get
offensive football.
true recognition. Come on.
Tony, do you think there's a possibility Tennessee could possibly finish 4th or 5th in the East this year?
Tennessee could finish anywhere from 2nd to 5th in the East. That'd be my variance. Second to fifth, Josh. Second to fifth.
Keep right.
You're off.
Turn right.
And my question for you, Tony, is you were talking about the other day the Braves need to be 3 games ahead when they go into September. What if they're up 5 or 6 games?
Johnny Boy ball game. If you get to 3 going into September, it's Johnny Boy ball game. Braves win the division. What is it right now? 1.5?
Yeah.
It's 1.5. Yeah. I mean, look, the Phillies are not very good, and the Mets are awful. You get that thing to 3 going into September, you can be very hard to beat. If that thing is 1.5 games with the Phils and you, as much as I am not sold on the Phillies schedule is dreck in the month of September, Josh. Just look at it. Now, that doesn't mean anything because the Phillies have found a way the last couple of years to choke against those teams. But
all right, gotta be down to
Joshy boy,
3 miles. Hell yeah, baby.
They really have. They did a great job at the deadline.
I was gonna say under 10,
I
but
call an ace and a spay. I call it right down the middle. You know me. We call balls and strikes on here, Josh, me and you.
Yeah.
And I give them credit.
Keep right. And then
Where do you think they'd be at now? Do you think things would be a lot better if they had a Kenya right now?
You can never say that, can you? It's one thing about football or any of these sports, but it's one thing about baseball is,
turn right.
you know, sometimes when a guy leaves, a guy like Freddie Freeman all of a sudden knows he's got to get smoking hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's right around the time. Isn't that right around the time that Freddie Freeman got his act together?
Yeah.
Freeman went through a stretch, Brian, where it was 40-some-odd pitches where he did not swing and miss at the baseball, Brian. Did you know that? It was several at-bats over several games. It was crazy. It was crazy.
The infield is just tearing it up right now, the whole infield.
Yep.
And they made up for that loss. And then some.
And I like what Freddie Freeman said. He said this week they have two.
Anybody finish his delivery?
And somebody said to him, "Well, you got to win 2 series."
Okay.
He said, "No,
So
we got to sweep these."
Gonna be
teams."
just shy of that 2 million
We
mark,
were a
but
500 baseball team all year. We
hit
got to
it
sweep.
very
I wish
shortly.
somebody on the Phillies would talk like that. That damn fraud Bryce Harper. I wish he would talk like that. That fake fraud Bryce Harper. That fake superstar. Him and his fake. All his fake get-up he has, his fake shoes, his fake whatever that thing is he wears on top of his head. Such a fraud.
And then turn right.
And my last question, Tony, do
Yes.
you think
Turn right.
the Tennessee football team, what do you think the wild cards are this year then? Like upsetting somebody like Florida, Ole Miss, and possibly a Georgia?
The Vols?
Yes.
You've arrived. It's been my
I think
honor.
they're
Right,
no
we
chance
made
against
it.
Georgia,
Hell
no chance
yeah.
against Alabama, and
We
basically
need it
everybody else on
right
their
there.
schedule
Where
is
you
a
want
game
it,
they could
right there.
win.
Okay.
A few of those games they could win, like Ole Miss, they could also get really blown out in.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Pittsburgh come in here and put it on them. That's possible. If they're not sharp, Pittsburgh could come in here and put it on Tennessee. If they're not sharp and they get down to Gainesville and they're lollygagging around on offense and they go 3 or 4 or 5 3-and-outs and do that thing, they get hammered there.
Yeah, whatever. We'll skip it.
Georgia certainly has the wherewithal to put it on Tennessee, and Alabama's going to. So, but I think Tennessee
Hell
this year,
yeah.
Josh, if my variance,
3,900
if I'm
XP.
looking at like record
Love it.
highs for the Vols, I say they could win
All right.
anything
Grab another
between
drink.
5 and 8 games.
Take a couple minutes.
I
Be
think
right
that's
back.
where I'd set it. I'd set the floor at 5, and I'd set the ceiling at 8. And Matt, what do you say to that? Floor ceiling for the Vols.
That's pretty accurate. That's probably what I'd set it at. I mean, I think you should definitely win 5. That should be the bare minimum. And then, you'll have, 3 or 4, maybe 5 toss-up games there. So yeah, you got to find something on defense, whether it's a pass rush that we don't really know about, or you have a defense that creates turnovers, or maybe you're just really good in the red zone. You got to find something on defense that you can kind of lean on, because there's not a whole lot there from a defense that wasn't very good last year.
Yeah, and I liked when he was asked today about his linebacking core, and he basically sidestepped that. Like, hey, look, guys, I have credibility. I can't be out here giving you, quotes about my linebacking core. He basically said we'll have to go back and look at the film. That's because they know just at linebacker, they know they just are in a world of hurt. And even Heupel wasn't going to hype that up today. He was like,
And out the door, Tony, it's going to be a week-by-week basis, but I don't think any of Tennessee's games will be canceled due to COVID, but you never know.
I love
All right,
you.
we're
Thank you.
back.
Yeah, the
Heck
variants.
yeah.
Who knows?
I hope the Alabama game.
Let's see.
865-200-5. Of course, they have to be 100% vaccinated. They're no fun. You know Saban jabbed those guys when they were sleeping.
Oh, they get jabbed already with stuff. They were nothing new.
No question. Here, just take these guys. Brian?
Yep, that's a good deal.
Clones
Let's do
reminded
it.
me of something.
There are those who would like
Because
to
Lambert's
see
got to be
you
listening
fail.
today. It's raining.
That's not going to happen.
Did Tim Tebow beat them in the playoffs, Brian?
Tim Tebow did beat the Steelers in the playoff game.
Oh, Lambrito.
In, what was it, like 2000, it was before Peyton the year before Manning, whatever year that was.
Run. And then the fan base had Tebow mania, right?
Yeah, and then they went to New England the next week and got slaughtered. Predictably.
Patriots fans didn't even have to watch the Broncos practices to beat them.
Yeah. So bad. So, and I'm
come on.
quitting today. I just want to send this out to
Quitting?
Breeder
Getting
and
fired.
Steeler Nation today. Because you lost to him. In the playoffs, no less. Tim Tebow cut today.
No, Tony, please don't do that.
I got to do that. You got to, employ my services, and I'll give you... That was my, Now, great, Andy. It was awesome. I am touched, man. But
don't go like a thief. Be about
Oh,
we're going to do
God.
in that way.
Players love this weekend. Go live on. Yeah, I mean,
one thing
it really does. Speed is not there yet.
What's the be just like? Game's going to be a hyper create their job, right?
It's not easy getting those.
You've done this. That Brian Hartman has produced. Beat Poets, our own.
Beat.
Oh, let's get our next song in. Hello and welcome.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Speaking of musicians and Beat Poets, our own Tennessee's own resident Gil Scott Heron spoken word artist. Andy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Get ready to go to work soon.
The next time you do that, you gotta employ my services, and I'll give you a beat. In fact, if you have that script near you,
why don't you just give me one right now, and I'll give you a personal one that it's about you, and I'll keep it clean.
Are you going to lay it down on K?
Right now.
Are you going to lay it down on K Town? Is that what we're saying right now?
I think you'll like it.
Oh, Lord.
Well,
Okay.
let me take a vote here, because I'm going to make sure it's a good idea, because Brian's my producer. Brian,
Oh, that's not
would
the
you
break.
like
We're
to
done.
hear Andy get down with no delay, with me busting
Oh,
a
no.
rhyme for him?
Ah. Okay, we're good.
Would you sign off on that? Brian Hartman is the producer of this show. Matt Dixon, I'm going to give you a vote today since you're here as well, and your name is assigned to this.
You don't have to ask me, Tony. You know I'm always in for stuff like this. Absolutely.
Andy, have you ever rapped live on the air before in all your born days?
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Oh, fucking boy.
I mean,
You've done this.
started rap battling in high school.
Okay.
And then, I've done it on and off, but I'm actually,
I gotta stop.
I'm getting ready to get in the studio with one of my friends.
Nice.
And start working on a little bit of stuff, trying to get better at it.
That's awesome. Because I'll tell you this.
It's not easy. It's really not.
No. People think no. It's like doing this. You know, everybody thinks everything's easy. People think anybody's job's easy. It's like going and try to do their job, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a great deal of respect for that rap you wrote the other day. You had some really clever, creative rhymes in there. Like I used your term earlier with hypo and disciple. I used that because I think that Mark in Columbus after this first game is going to be a hypo disciple. He's listening to us right now up there in Columbus, and I know he's thinking to himself, "Oh God, this guy's getting ready to rap." But you know, he just like you. He wants to be that fan. He wants to enjoy this like you are.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, speed is not there yet. That's what I've been working on.
Speed. That's right. Transitions. That's right.
And it's something that takes a long time.
Yep.
Like, it really does.
Yep.
So
what do you think about like when you're doing it? Because like I play music, I can give you a few like helpful hints. Like one thing I've learned to do is to get everything out of my mind and just let it go. Just get in the moment, man. When you're doing it, you got to get in the moment, Andy.
yeah, I mean that's really what you do. That's like when I was in high school and it just hit me. I was like, okay, let's go. So of course I can't go live on Twitter anymore because they won't let me for some stupid reason. But I'm going to hopefully try to figure it out because during game days,
you gotta do it.
I try to do it for the players and stuff. Like
Right.
I've had a couple of feedbacks on the one that I just wrote this weekend.
Right.
And J.T. Carter loved it. Like he was like, "That's fire." I was like, as long as you love it, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like as long as the players love it, that's all I
That's
care about.
fire.
I called it fire yesterday.
Aw. We love you, Andy.
That was my. Now I can trust you here, right? Because my wife is saying, Tony, keep your finger on the dump button. Would you assure her? No dumpy button here. Okay. Andy, anytime you're ready, can you give me just a little feel of what you're going to do? And that way I can give you some accompaniment.
It's just going to basically, you're going to be the goat. You're the goat.
All right, here we go.
So
Here we go.
It's going to be about you being the goat. Tony's the silly goat. He is the beast. You better not go at him because he'll chew you up like a thief. He's from Knoxville, 865. You don't want to go it because he'll make you be alive. Don't go after Tony. You go for the kill. If you do, he will go for the kill. He'll cut you through the throat and drag you by the throat.
It's great, Andy. It was awesome. I am touched, man, by those lyrics. Matt, great our work. On a 1 to scale 10 there. 1 to 10 scale, Matt. Grade it.
Oh, I have to give it a 10.
Thank you.
New show intro, Tone.
Andy, that was outstanding. I'm touched by your words, man. I know you mean that from the bottom of your heart, and I know you don't just throw the praise around idly. You don't speak idly.
You're awesome. You really are. Reason I called in.
Yes.
What do you feel about Joe Mills? Do you feel?
Why did you call in for that?
Game, if things don't go, they'll put Harrison out.
Yes.
Because that's the way I think. I think that's the way to go.
I think this right now going into today. I think it was Milton, Hendon Hooker, and Bailey. Now, I'll get a report for you how today's because the other scrimmage the other day, there was no chance for any quarterback to jump against another because they had so much trouble at the line of scrimmage and with their timing and all that stuff that it was just it was just kind of a mess. Today, I hope they had a cleaner practice, which allowed those quarterbacks to get their opportunity, because that's what you want. You want your opportunity. Andy, if I were Harrison Bailey, and if you ever get around him or know him or whatever it is, my advice to him would be stay there, because even if you're third, stay there, because you never know how these things are going to develop. You never know how it's going to go.
Yeah, I know people that knows him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to Orville a couple of times in Knoxville.
What the hell?
He loves him being at Tennessee, but when a coach is treating him like they did last year, he told me, and when I seen him in Knoxville last year, he said it's a good thing I wasn't in Nashville. He said because I would have went down on the field and I would have took him home. He was livid, but he just didn't like the way that Pruitt and them was doing him. You know, they threw him out there, and then they jerked him off.
Oh, God.
I think this year, I really think he'll end up taking over. I mean, me, honestly, I just trust Harrison more.
I'm okay with any of the quarterbacks. I mean, if one of them doesn't work, you got three more there, two more there.
Was not that great. So, you know, what was his high school record? Do you know? I don't.
Harrison Bailey?
No, Milton. Because it's nowhere near Harrison's, I don't think.
No, but he was a 4-star player, a highly recruited player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was recruited as well by Heupel because it was right there in Heupel's footprint in his backyard. See, that's the advantage, you know, Andy, and people don't like me saying that Milton has the advantage, but he does because that's the guy they brought in. And like David Ovens said it, we've had a couple of people on here. Yeah.
I'm with him 100%. If that's
who they go with. Yeah.
If that's who the quarterback is, I'm all up for it.
Yeah. See, I appreciate that. Cause some people are cheering against him, Andy. Some people are like, "Nah, I just want, you know, I just want this guy, and that's the guy I want." So.
Yeah. Let me ask you something real quick. Something that's been going on. What is your thought? Because I'll be honest with you, I just don't like Kiffin it, period. And a lot of fans really, really want Lane Kiffin to come back.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? How you feel?
What?
I think he wrecked our program.
Oh, no.
Bingo.
And
I don't trust him as far as I can see.
Yeah, and I don't understand these people. I agree with you. And I don't understand these people who want to kiss his ring all the time.
Let's go.
And I have people in this audience that are obsessed with Lane Kiffin. And no offense to those people, but I find them to be losers, Andy.
Yeah.
The guy wrecked your program. It'd be like running back to a woman that wrecked your life. She wrecked your life.
Yeah.
Move on.
Well, people don't agree that he started the downfall of the program, but he really did.
He started the downfall. Say it. Absolutely.
He dragged it. Okay, I get it. It was his dream job. But you could have handled it a different situation.
That's right.
You could have been more clear about it instead of just up and leaving.
That's right.
What?
Then maybe
How do you be more clear about it? Like
but not forget that.
Stop.
I mean, there's been a couple of fans, they say they're Tennessee fans, but they say that Ole Miss is going to wipe them clean. I'm like, okay. So
that's the city in Columbus. That's the city in Columbus. He said, I can't wait till they put 70 on us. I said, what are you a fan of?
Dream on. Dream on.
Dream on, Columbus. Dream on. Andy, thank you.
I'm going to say this.
Thank you.
Tennessee this year is going to do some special things as long as we stay healthy. Now, if we don't, I don't know how that'll go. I'm behind them 100%. But if Georgia goes in there and they choke, Tennessee will drag them all over the field.
Oh. Andy, you have a Dwight Gooden incredible rap by you. Thanks for the sentiments. 865-200-5402.
Them choking implies that they'll find a way to lose when they should have won. To me.
Yeah. Good line, Brian.
I don't think you can drag someone over the field when they choke in that situation. That'll be kind of hard to do.
We're getting into semantics.
No, we can't. Are you challenging Andy, Brian?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
I mean, Tony's got his feet in Florida. Andy's got us beating Georgia. Who's going to come on here and say we're taking down Bama?
We're taking down Bama, Dixon.
I mean, probably Bino.
Dixie? You gonna say it?
Bino.
You call him Scott?
Dixie.
Only if Jeremy Pruitt's their coach and Karen Connell's their quarterback.
Jeremy Baby. Why won't you be mine, all mine? Jeremy Baby, be mine. Hello and welcome into our next call.
Tony, I need to, there was evidently some skips in the internet there for the last minute or two when you were talking to Andrew. Who did you say wrecked the program? I missed that.
That would be Lane Kiffin. He took, now hang on, he took what Philip Fulmer left and he ran all those players off, which gutted
He ruined this program, didn't he?
Which gutted your numbers, right? And then he turned around and he had a signing class.
Maybe.
That was going to be one of the best that we've seen around here in a long, long time.
That was still real good.
And he left in the 11th hour. And he forced Tennessee into a spot where they had to hire, and they were under the gun, and they hired Derek Dooley, and it ruined the program. Haven't recovered since.
He forced our hand.
Yep, forced the hand.
Tony, yesterday there was some more internet glitches. I'll get to you, Matt. Sorry. But yesterday I heard there was a top 50 coaching deal.
Yes.
Jill. Who was 49th? That's when it started to, bleep in and out. The internet got a little spot in there.
Fulmer was ahead of Johnny Majors on that list.
Fulmer was ahead of Majors?
I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes, he was. He was one spot ahead of him.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that. I'm shocked. What are people, different fans saying about that? I mean, Fulmer ranked ahead of Johnny Majors, of all people. What's the word on the street going about that?
It remains a dividing point, doesn't it, Brady?
What a
what
terrible.
Did you think about it? Who would you? Because Bino said that
terrible facility
he
to exit.
That Majors belongs ahead of
we made it out. Let's go.
Far ahead of him.
That was the longest night.
Well, I mean, common sense will tell you exactly that Fulmer was way underrated on that list, but he was right rated according to Tennessee coaches. I mean, I think we can all agree, Nealon is ahead of Fulmer, but just barely.
All right.
Some people
Sleep
might say
soon.
but I'm saying no.
Got 598 miles to go.
Tone, moving on. Also, I heard that you're going to have a sort of basketball midnight madness going on after the first game, going from just an all-night party into Friday.
All night.
When Bino and Matt will take over the airwaves.
Maybe into Saturday. Maybe an all-night deal into Saturday.
Could be. I mean, we're going into a weekend. Let's just turn, Labor Day.
Yeah. Just stay on here and do like a 48-hour marathon.
Wow. That's going to be amazing. That'll set some records. What's the Guinness record on that? Do you know? Sports Talk, longest call-in, pre-game, post-game.
I think my record's going to be like when my heart quits beating.
Tony, that's one that'll never be surpassed by the living fan. Thinking out loud, Tony, I know you were taking some...
What the fuck is this called?
Some, suggestions who should, be behind the mic. And, I'm wanting that, as the Brady, I just, I want some logical solutions to this.
Yes.
Can I nominate a couple of folks? Because I think that one man can't carry the torch for that long.
I think it's a really good idea. The Brady, who'd you have in mind?
Okay. I'm nominating Florida.
Okay.
Who is one of the most stable, level-headed individuals that's ever called this
He's a
program.
solid caller. The guy's a solid. I'm not gonna lie. The guy's a solid. Now he ain't listen to us now because he doesn't. I'm sure he's a radio-only guy because I'm sure he doesn't even have the damn internet works. But Florida's my guy. I like Florida.
Well, that's okay. I don't really. What do you call it? Patronize.
No, I like the guy. He's pretty next level.
Yeah,
he's an internet guy. He's a fan of the .com program.
Bring some balance. I want to nominate D. Brady.
Brady, I would say this to you. I think you'd be a great addition to the overnight team.
And then as a third, because we do need a unbiased commentator, calls processor, call screener, I would think that the Markey in Columbus would be a great call screener.
Brian, and Matt, I've thought about getting Martin Columbus and inserting him in there like at 3:30 to wake everybody up. How mad do you think people would get, Matt, if they fell asleep with their device? And say you had that urge in the middle of the night, like I get, you gotta let it rip, you gotta urinate or whatever, and you wake up, and what do you hear, Brian, when you're waking up?
That's not going to happen.
That's Dad. We're not beating Florida. We're not beating anybody. We're not beating Tennessee Tech. It's Dad.
Do you think?
Tony, move along.
Do you think he'll be a Heupel disciple when he sees what we're gonna do to that Bowling Green team?
A Heupel disciple. Tony, moving along.
Yes.
I want to give props to Matt J. Dixon, who I tweeted at yesterday and told him that I need to get shaved because I started to get woolly after reading the E-Club edition from Monday. And Tuesday's edition is even more spectacular. I'll tell you what, Tony, my toenails are starting to grow. I look like a troll.
The damn thing comes at you. The damn thing comes at you in waves. I mean, if I put that in tomorrow's blog, all one straight down the line document, which is what it was sent to me, it's one of the most incredible things ever written on Tennessee sports.
Tony, I'm surprised that didn't crash the internet.
I'm serious.
If it comes at me tomorrow on Wednesday, I will put up some metal extrusions in the form of an X like D-Day on Normandy.
Yes.
And there will be dead soldiers hanging over the X.
Brian, did you hear the term metal extrusions? Did Brian Hartman catch that? Brian, did you catch that?
Yes.
Good.
I got a little bit for Brian Hartman. I can't retweet your tweets. Who is a golf fanatic?
Oh, come on, Aunt B. Come on,
Brian
baby.
This guy is watching Whittle Springs Golf Course with one eye, and you got 3 or 4 guys out there betting on hole 18.
Way more than 3 or 4 at Whittle Springs.
Brian, I didn't know that. Now, my son's involved in this golf community here locally. Brian, you never told me that. You're an avid follower of the golf thing?
I don't know about avid follower, but yeah, I watched the majors and a couple others.
Did you watch it over the weekend when that kid from Tennessee, Brian, won his card? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that, but I mean, I see every now and then. I'll watch, tune in something on a Sunday.
So that's close, Brady, what you just said. Yep, it's close.
2 weeks ago, Tony, he tweeted out when the field was crumbling. He said they were crumbling like Chips Ahoy cookies. See ya.
Chips Ahoy. Whatever. Get out of here. Terrible call.
Let's go back to the phones. Texting with my son right now. One second here.
I need to play Whittle Springs again. I haven't played it in a couple of years.
there.
Dude, there's not a track around here like Whittles National. You go to Whittles, you'll never go back.
No, Knoxville. Knoxville's our course, baby.
I think I shot my best round ever there.
Nope.
I love Whittles National. Never know if you're going to see a fight. It's an awesome place, man. Let's go back to our phones.
I was going to hit a house there.
That run along that road up there.
So that's a really cool story. My aunt lives on the road by Whittle Springs, and
what hole is that, guys?
She used to always collect the balls that would end up in her yard and give them to me. And they were like,
where they were like putting
about 3 months, she would get 30 balls probably. Like,
let's go back to our phones.
Who we got?
There's 2 of them. There's like the short par 4, and then there's the par 5 on the back 9 that goes up against that back fence.
Yep.
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in.
Hey guys.
Roger!
Yeah, Tony, Matt.
Oh no.
What?
Hey, Raj.
What do you mean? No. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh no. Yeah. What do you mean? Oh no, Tony.
I didn't say that.
He did. He did. Now, come on, Tony.
I think you're hearing things.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Matt. He did. Matt.
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in.
Hey guys.
Oh no.
Tony, Matt.
Oh no.
What?
Hey, Raj.
What do you mean? Oh no.
Welcome
What do you mean? Oh no. What do you mean? Oh no. Yeah. What do you mean? Oh no, Tony.
I didn't say that.
He did. He did. Matt. Now, come on, Tony.
I think you're hearing things.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Matt. Be my witness.
I heard it, Roger.
Somebody said it, and there's a lot of mics, so I don't know who said it, but I think I heard that too.
Brian, wait a second. Brian, let me hear you say those words.
Brian, how many people are plugged in right now?
Yeah. That might have been Kyle that said that. That might have been Kyle that said that. Kyle's been very quiet today, Raj.
No, it wasn't Kyle.
Kyle, why did you say it? Brian, say those words. Let me hear you say it. Let's hear your forensic footprint, Brian.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, no.
Did it sound like that, Roger?
No, it didn't.
Matt, you say it. All right, Matt.
It was you.
Hang on, let's go around the room. Matt, you say
Okay.
it. Let's try Matt now. Matt, say it, Matt.
Oh no.
It sounded like that, Raj.
No, it did not.
That might be the culprit.
No, it did not.
All right, you ready to try me?
Raj,
you ready to try? Raj, you ready to try me?
Huh?
You want to hear me say it?
Yeah.
Oh
no. No.
Is that what it sounded like? Is that what it sounded like?
Oh, I gotta stop.
No. It was you, Tony. I know you well. I know you well. But anyway, so how's it, Matt? How you doing there? How you doing there, Matt, buddy? There, Matt.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
It was you, Tony. I know you well. I know you well. But anyway, move on. So how's it,
what does
Matt?
He say
I know you well. I know you well. But anyway, move on. So how's it, Matt? How you doing there? How you doing there, Matt, buddy?
Oh
Matt.
shit! And he starts with Matt.
Roger, I'm doing well. I hope you are too.
Oh
I'm
God!
And then fine, Tony, why don't you answer a question to me? A while ago, you
Ask me a question to me.
Dr. Boy, and you was being negative about him. He's been negative about you were saying that he asked you about the Blaze, about he was been hard about it. You've been negative about it. You were saying that he saying him that Dr. Boy, the Blaze not going to win something, and then you said something about the then you said also you told you told him a while ago that have a chance to beat Georgia or Alabama.
Oh, we made it over the 2 million mark. Hell yeah!
Donnie. So why you been for naked Tony today, Donnie? Today for.
Roger, I think Tony was just giving Josh Boy a hard time, kind of like he does you.
Yeah.
Actually, Roger, the Vols have no chance against Georgia and Alabama this year.
Oh,
Georgia.
Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Tell him.
Roger.
We got a chance, Roger. Hell yeah.
I'll sing for the Florida game. I'll sing for the Ole Miss game.
Sing us a song. You're
I
the
scream
Tony
tomato,
man.
you scream tomato. I'm not going to do the Georgia and the Alabama game. Even though the Georgia series has been kind of a crazy series. I'm not doing that, Roger.
It's at home too. It's at home too.
Roger. Roger.
It's at home.
Roger.
What?
Don't do that. I
Well,
love
do
you.
what?
I love you, but you're gonna make me say those words. Oh, don't do that. Don't.
What?
Raj,
I'm
Georgia
giving
and
people-
Alabama. Raj, Georgia and Alabama. When you talk like that, it makes me want to tear the paper. I don't want to tear the
That's
paper.
not Tony.
No, that was yesterday. Tearing the
You
paper
don't
was.
know what the season name. The season name started, and the season name started. People like you were saying that since you don't have a chance to beat Georgia, Alabama. I'm saying Alabama, but Georgia. You got
There's always a chance, ain't there, Roger? Hell yeah.
That's not being. That's not being right, Tony. Because you got to wait and see what happens first, Tony. You know, like
Roger, I love you, but you're a sheep.
Oh.
Well, okay, I'm a sheep then. Okay, I'm a sheep.
Hell yeah, Roger. Own up to it, baby.
I'm on that.
We got a chance, goddammit.
Hey, Matt, I want to ask you about Georgia.
Yeah.
The Tennessee have a chance to beat.
Yeah, I mean.
The Tennessee have a chance to beat
Yeah,
Georgia this year, Matt.
Roger, you always have a chance to beat anybody.
Yeah.
Matt, don't do that, Matt. Not Matt.
They have to have a lot of things go right.
Matt.
I mean, Mississippi State had Georgia beat last year.
Oh, Matt.
Mississippi State, who won like 3 games.
Matt, don't do that to Roger. That's not what you would say.
Georgia lost to South Carolina, 2 or 3 years ago.
Let me say this
South
to you.
Carolina at
Matt
home.
gets all over me about my Florida take. But he's going to
whenever Kirby
entertain this.
Smart's on the other sidelines, your team has a chance to win.
But he's going to entertain this now.
I'm not picking it, but there's a chance.
Yeah, a chance. A chance ain't a chance, Tony. Oh.
Yeah, Roger. Tell him.
That's all I'm saying. Why people getting? How can people predict stuff? It's not even happening. You know, it's not even happening, Tony. I don't understand people out there. Even SC people and the whole nation is predicting people, predicting Georgia and Alabama and all the. They ain't played a game yet. You gotta wait and see. You know.
Roger, is there a chance that I'll get more things right than Jimmy Hyams today on my show?
Keep right.
I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
You said there's always a chance. There's always a chance, Roger. Always a chance.
Yeah.
Well, is there a chance? Yes or no?
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know, Tony. I'm just getting at it. I don't really know I'm getting at, Tony.
Just
at
asking.
Yeah, Tony. I think. But Tony, I think on that thing, Tony, all night you doing with the. Tony, how you want to be able to stay awake the whole night, Tony? My question to you is it a lot the ideal that how you gonna be able to stay awake, Tony, all night thing? How you gonna be able to keep your eyes open, Tony, the whole night, Tony? The whole night. My question to you is.
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
No, I really don't know.
Oh God.
I like the ideal. I like the idea, Tony.
I don't know if it's a good idea.
I'm doing it, Tony. I'm gonna be there, Tony. I bet you.
What now?
We're gonna be there.
Listen all night.
Probably not all night because I'm gonna listen what I can, but I don't think it's the week all night. I don't know. I probably can't. I tried it one time. I couldn't do it. One time I tried. One time I couldn't do it. So I could try. I don't know. I don't know, Brian. So I have to wait and see. But I'm gonna listen to some of it if I can. But
we'll be there,
I'm not
Tony.
sure how much, I don't know yet.
Mark my words. We will take up 1 hour. Tony Vasilio's all night extravaganza. One whole hour.
Probably tends to be Georgia probably. I'm serious.
Brian, that's good work by you.
Yeah. That's good work, though. Good work.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah,
Raj, now you tell me the truth. You ready?
All right. Hey.
Raj?
Yeah? I'm listening.
If Heather was doing the Up All Night show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Is there a better chance you'd stay up all night and listen to her?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. I tried one time and I couldn't. I fell asleep. I was sitting on the couch one time. One time ago, I tried one time. I was sitting on the couch and I was trying. was watching something on TV and I couldn't. I tried to I fell asleep when I fell asleep. One time, long time ago, Don. One time ago.
God.
So no, Paul couldn't. Even anybody couldn't. That's just. That's probably the only time I go to all night is if it's important, something important like emergency, like somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get no back. I don't want to get no. But don't know what I could point to do if I something important happens.
And that's,
something,
Roger, what's getting ready to happen is Tennessee football is getting ready to be reborn.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what's getting ready to happen, Roger. And that's very exciting to me.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you, Raj. I love you.
The people let you go, okay?
Hey, God bless you, man.
You too, man. See y'all.
Bye. Let's do a reenactment. Hello? It's Roger on the line and me. No. That wasn't me. That was Brian.
Tone. No, Tone, it's you.
Weird. Sounds like me, though. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome.
I'll confess, Tony, it was me.
Well, this hour is getting sublime now. Lukey is now online with us for the second day in a row, Brian. Lukey is calling the show. Luke, how you doing?
Hey, Luke. Okay, I was saying oh boy to Roger, and I'm proud of Roger because he's on my side. Did we play baseball today, Tony, in the little Smoky Dome?
In your dome, yes, we could play baseball in your Smoky Dome. We sure could.
Because it's raining and the little Smoky Dome's looking good today.
It's kind of cold outside too. It feels nasty outside.
And I'm going to take you and Brian and Rolla in February to the Smokies. I'm going to buy the tickets in February.
In the Smoky Dome?
Yeah.
So, Raj, what happens, Luke, in May?
18 miles.
In your Smoky Dome. When it's like 75 degrees outside and I got to go inside and watch baseball in the Lukey Dome.
Off before then.
Yeah.
Well, answer my question. What happens then? I got to go inside?
It's going to be nice and warm. It's going to be nice and warm.
It's idiotic, Luke.
What's that?
Dome stadiums for baseball are really bad.
Well, how about the professionals? They play
and it's terrible. It's
Who cares? Nobody cares.
Brian, do you like dome stadiums? Period, as a rule for football.
Not really, but I can understand some places where the weather is extreme. That's one way to get things done. But I would if it were me.
Well, on another subject.
Yes.
I was listening. I'm agreeing with you now on that Florida thing. I was listening to Florida man call in. And we used to brag how we was always going to beat Florida, and we never beat them.
Never beat them.
Now they're bragging on just the opposite. So I think we have a chance to beat them now.
I'm with Jake in Memphis. I'm not a big expert, mind reader, that kind of thing. But I can tells. And that Florida fan and some of the other Florida fans that we know are very concerned right now.
Well, we could, anytime we play, we can win.
We could truck them, Luke. We could truck them.
On a given day, you can win.
We've only lost 15 out of 16, but we can truck them this year.
I'm ready to go through gate 21, man. I'm getting excited and ready to hear that band play, the T-band play. And good, nice, cool weather. It's going to really be great.
Are you going down there on September 2nd, Lukey?
I am going. If I'm not sick, I am going.
You won't be sick.
I will be there, and I will be up all night. Buddy.
You will be?
I will be.
Hell yeah, Luke.
Lukey, I absolutely love you now. Lukey, I'm going to make sure that you're there because I'm planning out my night, and I'm going to rip you at 4 a.m. and I'm going to make sure you're up there listening.
Okay. Where's this David Evan going? What city is he going to?
So he's staying with the Athletic, and I don't know where he's going, but he's now the SEC writer for his publication, which is a great honor.
Morgan, hush.
Well, that's great. That's great. He's real good. I listen to him. And
Yep.
He's really good. Good interview. And,
You know who he sounds a lot like is Kyle. Kyle from Thursdays. Have you guys ever thought that, Matt or Brian? Ubby sounds just like Kyle. I mean, we could bring Kyle on next week and make him Ubby.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
There we
Did you
go.
hear
Go to
about
sleep.
Daddy's radio call the other night?
Your brother's radio call?
Yeah. Of the Smokies.
Where'd they play it? Did they play it up there?
5:52
It was in Greenville.
a.m.
It was on your 544 number. I put it on your 544 number.
Oh, no,
Go
I
check
haven't heard it. I need to go listen to that. Okay, thank you.
Go check it. I got it on there a little bit. And Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is playing.
That's really neat.
League game. He did the game in 1992.
That's really neat. All those names really take me back.
Yeah, you could have it on tape.
So if you have a tape from back then, I've got a friend that pitched in those years in Knoxville that would love to hear that stuff, Luke, if you have anything from that era.
I've got a little bit, and I found a little bit. I got a lot to go through, but I found that just...
Oh, that's so neat, Luke.
The other night.
Oh,
you can hear it on your 544 number.
That's my wheelhouse, that 91, 92. I went to about 50 games that summer. You see your brother up there. That was when you had to walk on the back of the old Bill Myers Stadium, and they had like that catwalk thing that you had to take to get up to the press box. It was very rickety and scary.
That's right. You know who did the game with him?
What's happening?
Mike Keith.
That's
Mike
cool.
Keith. That is correct. And so you listen to that. Maybe you can put a little bit of it on the radio if you want to.
Lukey, I love you. You're my man. God bless you, brother. I will put it on the. If you can give me that, cassette tape, I'd play it, man. I'd love to hear that.
What?
Horian Yan. Hello and welcome into our next call.
Yes, sir. I wanted to make it clear that I was not disrespecting Titansville and Coach Al Brown yesterday when I suggested the midnight special.
Okay. Well, Coach Al Brown really was not. He thought you were dumping on him. He said, "Wow, Tony."
Well, hey, I am in the same stage. I mean, the only reason I stay until 10 o'clock at night is if it's a clear night and I can sit out in the yard and look for satellites going by. So that shows you what kind of situation I'm in.
So you're like Matt and I. Are you like a stargazer?
Oh, all my life.
Okay, so have you seen the space station as it's popped through?
Yes.
Of course, Tony.
It's so amazing. Last
Who
week it was
hasn't?
up. The space station was visible last week. It was incredible.
Been doing that since I was in middle school. Freaking almost 20 years ago, Tony. Come on now.
Extra hour. We do this. That's right. We do this.
But there's a site called Heavens Above. You all may know about it. But it details all the visible satellites every night. And I've seen recently I've seen the Chinese space station, ISS, Hubble.
That is so cool.
There's something visible every night.
Yeah.
More than likely, you sit out there for an hour, you can see 4 or 5 things if you just know what it was.
So my question for you is,
yes.
Do you need a telescope to see these things?
No.
No, Tony.
It's
a naked eye.
Maybe some people could do it, but they move so fast. I can't imagine how you could track them with a telescope.
So you know at this time, that site would tell you at this time between this and this, you'd be able to see it on this horizon.
Oh yeah.
From
They'll
here.
give you the.
Wow.
Tony, it's math.
Yes.
But basically, the prime time is within an hour or so after sunset, and because they're reflecting sunlight, so if the sun is below the horizon too far, there's not going to be any reflection or minimal. And then the ones that are the perfect time is if something's like 60 degrees to 90 degrees above the horizon, and it's within an hour after sunlight, because the further up in the sky they are and the sunset it is, the longer visibility will be, and the brighter the satellite.
Phenomenal. So three was it 3 years ago we had the eclipse?
4 years ago.
4, okay. I got into an area thanks to Tom Green where it was 100%, and I've never felt anything like that in my life. Just the way when you start looking at our solar system and the way things are aligned, and start looking up at the night sky and just the wonderful way all this is just here.
That means
for
your
us.
weeds suck, Tony.
It's just phenomenal, man.
Ever since I've been a kid, I've been interested in that kind of thing.
Really neat. Good. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me. That's called Heavens Above.
Heavens Above.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm totally looking into that.
Yeah. Now the last thing I'll say about Titusville, and I think there's some NIL opportunity there. You could get maybe a Smoothie King up all night version that's got extra caffeine in it. They can put their faces on the.
See, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great. I like that.
We definitely need some
All right,
enhancers
300
for
miles
that
to go.
3 o'clock hour.
Bypass this
when
way station.
Titusville
Thank
used to
goodness.
say an enhancer or two. It was one of
Get
our
it
next
over
level
with here,
things ever. We need to get
Well,
back
and
to
the other
that.
thing you need to do is
300.
get one of his top 5 on his top 5 list to make a guest call in if you could reach out.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be even better.
Could you imagine? Or I'll tell you what. If I told Titans-Bill that old Shirley MacLaine was going to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd be over here.
Okay, remember, Heavens Above. You got
Thank you. Good talking to you. It wasn't Shirley MacLaine. Who's the girl lady he has a crush on?
Shirley Jones.
Shirley Jones.
Yeah, the Jones.
He got me thinking of Heavens Above with Shirley MacLaine, who's nuttier than a damn fruitcake. She's like in the 8th dimension. Matt, well, we've touched them all today, buddy. We talked some football, some stars,
Rap battles.
We had an on-air execution of a freestyle with me beatboxing. We have touched them all.
Michael Webb tweeted at me and said that he got shot with a BB gun playing at Whittle once.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And Michael Webb's not lying. We were over there one night with me and Laura before we had kids, and an ambulance came in one of the fairways while we were playing, and we thought there was like some kind of medical emergency, and these two guys were gambling, and one guy, like, I guess tried to cheat, and the other guy took the dude and hit him over the head with a club. Smashed him right over the head with a club.
Oh, that's awesome.
Didn't Kenny Chesney's dad do that to somebody?
That might have been him that got arrested that night.
Because he was my PE teacher in elementary school.
It's pretty next. Was he a good PE teacher?
He was all right. I mean, he's an elementary PE teacher.
What
so
school?
He's about like Pruitt.
What school?
Good.
That'd be Pleasant
would have
Ridge.
had to taught him
Pleasant
to
Ridge.
tie his shoes if he were like Pruitt.
It's very cool.
You'd be teaching him to tie his shoes.
I kind of knew we were in trouble, Brian, that night that Pruitt was up there going 10 years ago. I was teaching kids how to tie shoes, and now I've got this job. Don't you love America? And I'm thinking to myself, we are in, you can't say it at the time.
Is it going to work?
Is this going to work? Yes.
What do you mean you can't say it at the time? The very first play of the Pruitt era, our quarterback got blasted on a play where our center went the wrong way. Literally the first play of the damn guy's tenure here. And then we got blowed out by a bunch of mountain guys from West Virginia.
And here's the best thing about that. Pruitt was shooting his mouth off over there at Cherokee. And he told,
and we were beating West Virginia and Florida.
Yes, and a bunch of those guys made future bets. And they were like, early on, they were like, is this guy an imbecile? And I said, maybe.
He is
on him.
In the drawer. We'll leave
One of my favorites, and we could do a show on this. Just the funny, like, small moments. Was that game at Georgia when we had the 3 straight offsides on the punt, and on the 2 of them, Pruitt was literally standing right next to the official, and the guy kept throwing the damn flag.
For the exact same thing.
For the same thing, and Pruitt wouldn't make him change
Wouldn't make him change it. I'll show you. He's like, I'll show you. And the guy was like, okay, line him up out there again there, coach. The guy's one shining moment was that Alabama game where he did the 3 timeouts and made Saban mad for the field goal or whatever that I blocked it all out, but his one shining moment night was stripped away from him with his fascination with that quarterback. By the way, have you guys heard about old Gitmo? Is he going to start at Washington State? What have we heard, bro? Have you heard? You or Matt?
I have the word Garantano blocked on Twitter, so I don't get any updates about him anymore.
I would say he'll play.
Never think of him again. I know this. If he's playing, please let me know so I can play some unders on their games.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Oh,
Watch him go out there and be a world beater in that league, though.
Yeah.
Tony, there's not. He couldn't be a world beater in the KIL over here if he played for like Kaplan.
The funniest thing about the whole Gitmo era, Matt, I'll never forget. This is when I knew that I loved you.
Oh my God.
Is when you went back
95 miles. Let's go,
and did a
baby.
deep dive in it, because you don't want Matt doing a deep dive. Matt's like FBI agent when it comes to this deep dive stuff. When you did that deep dive into his high school stats, and people were quoting those all over Big Orange Country, everywhere. Have you seen these numbers? Have you seen these numbers?
He wasn't any good in high school.
It was the most incredible. Thinking back on that era. And then we started calling him like a Manchurian quarterback, like he was made up, and it was just a whole fictional. So strange how he got his star ranking and #1 dual threat quarterback in America,
and he can't play.
And his high school numbers
Focus has him in the second round
right now.
Oh God.
No, just
in what draft?
Like giving second round grades and high marks and all that stuff.
I remember that.
My God.
I remember those days.
There's a good deep dive on Jarrett Garantano and J.J. Peterson's high school careers. Would be a very, very interesting book.
Oh my gosh, I love your hypotheses on how J.J. Peterson's really was a guy that played at Alabama, whose time had expired, and Rush Probst snuck him on a field. Would you guys put that past a Rush Probst? Because I would not.
I would actually be disappointed if he hadn't done stuff like that.
Yes.
Like when him and Pruitt were down there at Hoover, there's no telling how many of those kids never actually went to a classroom and played football down there.
No doubt about it.
And I love every bit of it.
No doubt about it. I'm 100% for it, not against it.
Now, here's what you need to know about J.J. Peterson. Of like the 30 players or whoever that left our team, he's like the only one who had to go to a junior college and not like another D1 or even a good FCS school. He had to go to a junior college.
Is he playing football? Is he still playing? Is he still trying it?
I don't know. I think the last I heard, he was going to have to go the JUCO route, so he didn't. In a move that's shocking to everyone, he must not have left here on great academic standing.
Wow.
Lordy.
I wonder how much they paid for him.
I know, right?
Good God. And like Garantano, like God knows what they had to beat out Ohio State for him for.
And that was always the whispers. The whispers always were that they were holding up that they paid him. Which I get you in retrospect, Pruitt doing what he was doing probably did make him nervous.
Why you couldn't bench him?
That's people kept whispering.
Well, he wasn't a Pruitt recruit.
But the Peterson thing.
I mean, he basically came here because his dad knew Butch Jones.
That would be a great real deep dive into his deal and how he ended up around those guys. And, I mean, that whole thing, that's just how that whole industry is. It's just so... Guys just show up at high schools. It's
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot harder to do now that recruiting and really high school football has kind of exploded and become much more popular, especially locally. It's harder to get away with some of that stuff now, but it for sure went on in the pre-internet days.
Oh, it still goes on.
132 miles, baby. Let's finish this shit.
But, any other final thoughts, guys? Much love to both of you. I need to go eat something. Get the wake.
No satellite stargazing tonight.
No
be careful out
satellite
there in the rain.
stargazing, and please be out. Please be careful outside. We love each and every one of you. God bless. And Matt, thank you for that incredible deep dive, man.
And always. We'll talk Thursday.
G to the B. Oh, both of you guys, hang out here. I got something to tell you. G to the B to the O. We love you.
Powell, Knoxville.
Okay. Look at.
All right. Well, that was Tony. Tony. Let's finish this delivery and let's call it a night. Okay, episode. Couple of okay callers. Not as many pumpers this time, which is good, but just not a whole lot of substance in those calls, it felt like. Roger was great. A little let down by Andy, to be honest. But, I mean, it is what it is. Actually, hang on. We didn't get to listen to Andy yesterday.
Fascinating to me.
I wanted to talk about hey guys.
Hey, Raj.
Oh,
Hey, Raj.
get Raj on
Hey
there.
guys, how y'all doing today?
Good, Raj.
Good. Hey Tony, I wanted to talk about I can't. Tony, I just wanted to tell you. I just want to make a comment first. I just want to say that Tony, if you was coaching by, I mean, what I heard a guy say earlier, a guy called in the Pruitt area, that Tony, if anytime you get cussed out, a player, I mean, a coach get, if you get cussed out for coaching your team and a player don't, Tony, if you doing the same thing, I wouldn't be comfortable playing for you. If you was a player and you was every day, a coach was cussing you out every day, I'd be nervous. I'd be kind of afraid to learn how to play, because if you you know what I'm saying, like
I agree with that. How can you be relaxed?
Yeah, good job.
When
Good job,
somebody's
Roger. Good point.
cuss you out all the time.
Hey, Roger, you want to coach fired if he cussed all the time, right?
No.
You want him fired.
Even me, Brian. I wouldn't be one there outside and somebody. I would direct one there and see the person. If you're going to fuss at me and cuss at me, I want to go out there and I'd be terrified. I'd be nervous, you know, Tony.
Yeah.
100 miles to go,
So I can
baby.
understand why some of the players, that one player said he dreaded going to practice, you know, because of that, you know. So I'm glad it's over now. I'm glad we got Josh Hopper, who, you know, is somebody who's going to he can coach about cussing, you know, Tony. So
Roger, there's no need to cuss at people.
No.
and have Jeeker's vocabulary.
Yeah.
Right. Well, how about Jeeker Friday night? How about his vocabulary, Raj? What do you think of that?
I know.
I had to tell him a couple times, hey, there's some kids around here, Jeek.
Yeah. You trying to tell him not to, but he still cuss anyway. You trying to get him not to offend people around, but he didn't want to listen to you, Tony. He didn't want to listen to you. But,
are you kidding me? What? Is the Pope Catholic? At one point over there, we had Jeeker, Holy Joe, Bino, Goldbrick Joe, and who's Goldbrick Joe's friend? I can't remember. Matt, who's just a beautiful guy.
Thank you,
And then
Tony.
Jaker's back there cussing like George Carlin. Right, Raj?
Cocksucker
And you had to
motherfucker.
turn to him and say, Jaker, you know, my family, they didn't appreciate you in my driveway talking like that, right? Isn't that what you told him?
Tony, don't do that on the air, okay?
Well, I mean, that's what he does. That's what Jaker. Jaker. All right, I won't do that anymore.
Roger.
Jaker.
Oh, gosh.
I won't do that. You're right, Raj, to call me out. I apologize.
I don't want to embarrass him.
Well, you know
All right,
what?
we're down to 90 miles. Let's go, baby.
Oh, really?
$50,000. Well
Bino?
over that $2 million mark. Might buy another truck.
It always pulls me into these things, Roger, and then my mouth gets me in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying, Tony.
I'm so sorry, Raj. And Jaker, I'm sorry. Jaker, let me say this about Jaker. Nobody has a bigger heart than Jaker, right?
Yeah.
I love Jaker. Did he buy you a big ice cream the other night?
The Paul Joe did. Oh.
It was nice meeting Jaker's brother, too, Bino, wasn't it? I never met him.
I had neither. It was Woody. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet him. He had his kid with him. That was fun night. That was a fun night. Jaker, we're just messing with you. We had a really fun night out there.
Yeah,
great night for a ball game. They got yep.
Yeah, just see I haven't seen Paul Joe in a long time, and he was telling stories too. It's funny. Y'all was all laughing at it, at it.
Yep.
So, Tony, I wanted to, Tony, I wanted to ask you, about Josh. Do you think that with the talent he got, do you think not wins, but you think that her defense, Josh, I know how to remember tomorrow. How I just want to ask you, what kind of, that's the first thing was to happen. The second thing was what kind of thing you think that, what kind of thing you think might happen in the second film? You think, Tony and Bino, in the second film is tomorrow morning to have tomorrow. You think you think it'd be better? You think
It's got to be better, Raj.
Yeah.
For the
Got
offense,
to.
it's got to be better.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
59 miles.
Yeah,
Let's go,
good.
baby.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear about that, Tony. And Tony, I'm getting excited about Tony. That guy, what Joe said about can't wait. He's talking about football season, Tony. And I am too. I can't wait to see how we do early, because we've got Bowling Green and Tony, a Pittsburgh team, Tony. Tony, how good? Pittsburgh. I heard the defense is good, and I heard the team was kind of good. Tony, you know what kind of team? You know what kind of team that Pittsburgh has got this year?
Beautiful.
They're okay, Raj.
Beat
They're not
big
great.
rig
They're much
beast. Let's
better
go, baby.
offensively than they are defensively. Kenny Pickett, their quarterback, Raj, has a chance to make an NFL roster next year. Really nice player, Raj.
Really?
The Wicked Pickett can play now. He can play now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and some have said, like Phil Steele said, they could be a factor in their division in the ACC. And then I see where some people pick them like 4th or 5th. So it's a game. Tennessee, obviously. Look, that Connolly guy has the rankings. Of course, if he's anywhere near the way he's ranked these damn coaches being on the top 100, I guess you can take that with a grain of salt.
Baby.
But he has them right next to us in the rankings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger, I think.
Great. Share this with the
VFL Gorilla backslap Bulls wide receiver Scott Hand with hypo heat.
Andy Bowser.
Here we go.
He's like a modern day Gil Scott Heron. The revolution will be televised. And let's hear Andy Bowser break it down scientifically here. Here you go.
Love you, boys. Now let's finish these VFL from the 423. Tennessee is cooking up the season with hypo heat. Gonna turn you into a disciple. Gonna throw bombs all over the field. Gonna go for the kill. Smoke that ass after we done. You will be last. These wide receivers got hands of gold. Go toe to toe. They will make you fold. This old line is stacked deep as a mountain. You will not get past that mountain. We got running backs like bulls. Better not test them. They will turn you into fools. D-line is so nasty. You got them gorillas ready to pound you to the ground. They will run you out the town. Gorilla gang is their motto. Trust me, you don't want to test that smoke. They will make you choke. This season will be the one to remember. All the blood, sweat, and long days, long nights will pay off. Believe in these boys, because being a Vol for life is something special. Us real VFLs cherish orange and white. Smoke will fly in the sky. Once we get those dubs, love you boys. Now let's finish these next few weeks strong and get those dubs.
Nobody bleeds it. Nobody, Bino, bleeds it like Andy. That's a true believer right there.
That is true. Andy is all in.
Love you, Andy. That was great. Gil Scott Heron approves, wherever he is. Hello and welcome in to the next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, welcome in. Hey, T.
Turkey.
That was good. I love Andy's bringing it, buddy.
I told you, he can run.
No question.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure can.
All he needs is a little bit of me back here going like this, Turkey. Ready?
You know what? Give me an idea. Give me an idea. If and I really and truly, nobody would be happier than me if we beat Florida. And
oh my gosh, can you imagine? Andy deserves it. Andy deserves for us to win a game like these young kids like Andy that love it like Andy does. They deserve it. They deserve for us to beat Florida, Turkey.
You know, me and Big Ben was, and a bunch
Big
of
Ben's
us,
another one. The late great Big Ben. Those young guys
when
deserve
he
it.
in from there, they was jumping in the river, and I was right there with them. We stayed up. I mean, it was a time. I mean, we couldn't get a ticket to get in, but we were down there watching on TV and tailgated and the whole time.
Yep.
It was awesome.
So fun.
I tell you what, I'm willing to do. That's what I'm willing to do. If Roger's willing to go for it, I know he's got. If we lose, if Florida beats us, I think that Roger and Andy ought to have a rap song for that. If we win, I'm willing to do a rap song with Andy. Andy's on the seat as long as he can do it. I'll try. I got to, like you say, I can blow in a jug like Uncle Jesse. But I can't do it. But I'll try. If we win, but if we lose, I think him and Roger.
What talent could you bring to it, Turkey? Like, I'll do the beatbox. Can you like play the spoons or something?
Oh my God!
I could do that. I could get a jug and kind of blow it.
Jug? That's awesome, man. Bino,
you know, I can do that.
Oh
Bino,
my
can
God.
you envision it now, Bino?
Is this a
Well,
turn lane?
yes, I can.
Bino,
That'd be a good about 3:30 in the morning.
What will your role be, Bino?
My role will be to make sure that I sleep through that segment.
Could we trust Andy Bowser to take care of business in the middle of the night for us, Bino?
I don't believe there's any question about that.
All right, poor speed limit sign. We're going to tear you down. We do apologize, however.
You got old Smokey there, doesn't he? I heard that dog. I think I heard that dog woofing while he was doing his thing there.
Yeah, he
Does he have a hound?
No, it's a kind of a bulldog.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty dog. Real nice.
Love dogs.
Yeah, I was going to. I told him that. I kind of got sidetracked. There's a
Not on this show. You don't say. You get sidetracked on this show. You don't say. We never do that to people around here.
Now we get back on the rails, don't we? What I was going to ask you is talk about Penn State. Was it Leroy Thompson that we let get away to Penn State?
Correct.
Wasn't it? What happened in that? Seemed like that's when our downfall went. Well, we lost him.
Oh,
after we
shoot.
started going downhill.
No, that was mid '80s. Believe it or not, that was 1987.
Right,
And
$51,000.
so Tennessee had a glory period.
Ladies and
after that.
gentlemen, thank you
No, Tennessee had
for joining us for this episode of Tony and Truckin'. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, K.O. Almeida, for the like from Brazil and the view. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.